Buttons aren't working. Oh, wait, hold on. Is it working? Ah, there we go. That was weird. It did the whole thing where like I pressed the buttons and it like lagged for a second, and I was like, I don't know if it's working, and it was. So, hello everybody, and how are we doing today? So I just want to point something out. First of all, thank you, Nick, for finally showing up. It was totally you that we were waiting on, and nobody else. Definitely.
Right.
Second of all, um, I want to point out that chat wants Cell to start the session with five.
What? How did I get to 5?
Five things, and more or less.
Do I have notes on this?
So he eats the entire session. So
Do I have notes?
They want Cell to do five, not one or two 5 events.
Monger? Notes? Where? Why is it 5? What's happening?
That listen, I'm not saying you have to do 5. I'm saying they're requesting it. Jake, can I get your opinion on the situation?
Well, my opinion is, if Cell's got 5 events and then Nick's going, I probably could have drove a bit slower. Just saying.
Nah.
It's okay. I already said that I used your being late for my advantage. So what's up?
If Cell's got 5 events, on Nick's not going.
All right. Well, let's start going through them real quick. Okay. What are the 5 events? Chat, tell me. AK Snaga. What the fuck are you talking about?
So two of them have to do with like some shit pertaining to you. So I definitely have 2 events, and somebody's saying something about an FF. So I'm going to look into that in a second. But I think you stopped that from happening. So I'll read my notes in a second. But let's go into the ones. Varix was going to have Gartesh assist them or in something. He was wanted to have his people research the cave more about what he learned from Galtma. What cave?
My cave, my special cave. No, the one I fought the fire elemental in.
Oh yes, which is your special cave. Yes, it's just special cave.
My special cave.
All right, cool.
Did Cell really not do events? Because I swear at the end of last session we were supposed to be starting with Nick.
I don't think. Did I even roll for my random event?
Jake.
Let's be real. Cell can't be trusted about whether or not it's his turn. But neither of us are going to remember.
I remember like the end of last session being like, we're going to be starting with Nick, and you're going to have like more or less like at least half a session to yourself.
I remember Scott saying I had like an event from Patreon or whatever, but apparently there's more.
I was probably reading March, not looking into April yet, but yeah. So anyways, so do you want to? So the Galtma one is the legit one, but do you want to wait for that to be at the end once you know who you're already committing to other things?
Yeah. Let's do the 2 Patreon ones.
Oh, and hold on. What's the other player one that he's mentioning as well? Just so we have this on top of our minds.
I have.
So it's supposed to be deal with the Jewels of Eroth was the other one.
Yeah, but I thought that's just kind of.
They were supposed to.
Stuff.
Yeah, they were supposed to come to you, is what it was.
Yeah, but also I thought that was just background stuff because like I'm not doing the Malta deal, so we're working together, but like it's not there anything special. I didn't think there's actually anything important unless I wanted to like import something specific.
Yeah, I don't recall you wanted to do anything specific. It was like you just said because
there's the concern I couldn't get cold iron from Nick's area, but we require that, so I don't think I need to do anything with them yet.
Yeah.
I think once I get Jorman to produce like in Lenny, I guess to produce +1 stuff, I probably should sell it through them specifically to build the brand or whatever, but that's not really a problem.
Cool. So we can put that one in the back burner. All right, cool.
That's not.
So give me 1 second while you guys are saying hi to read whatever else they're talking about, because again, it's been a fucking crazy week for me. So 1 second.
Shouldn't be too long, right?
Right,
No.
Don't mind. You guys chat.
Oh, well, I don't think. Oh, the Inquisitor hunt down the devil. Oh.
Is it just the mansion? That's the only one I'm seeing on here is the mansion.
I think the other one was Rima investigating for devil shit, which I think is reasonable.
Oh, did you build Pete's mansion yet?
It's being built. It takes 2 months.
Oh.
Why does Rima Rumi doesn't know about the devils. So I don't know what you're talking about, an Inquisitor event to hunt down a devil. That's like me and
Yeah, the only
Oh wait, no.
the only one is the mansion one.
I think I was gonna talk to Rima because we did the talk with Miyumi about the devil situation. Misumi, yeah, about the devil situation. And then I said, I know one person that can help us find this devil and ruin route. And it was Rima, obviously. So I think that's what that's talking about. But I don't know if that's like an event to do now. I think that's like
No, I wasn't reading whatever people are saying in chat. I was talking specifically about your Fortune's Favor that was sitting there for you. And the Fortune's Favor sitting there for you is about the what's it called? Bashado, I'm pretty sure you never actually got Pete's Mansion. Yeah, you never. Oh, you did buy that land. Oh, so there's 1 month left for Pete's Mansion. Okay, cool. So that one already was touched on. So yeah, nothing left there.
Don't really know it's a Fortune Favor for me. It's Fortune Favor for Jake, but.
All right, cool. Oh, the overlay's all fucked up over here, apparently. So I now have to fix this shit again. So. Close that. So anyways, then let's go with the other one. I'm not even going to go in this overlay. We're just not going to look at your kingdom stats at all. I don't have time for this right now.
It's not a problem.
Yeah, it's
my
all
kingdom
funky.
stats aren't.
So I just should be showing the map of your kingdom stats while trying to blast through these, just so I can actually get attention to Nick quicker.
Yeah.
So
I want Nick to go, so let's do it.
Yeah. All right.
Don't
back
lie.
to.
That's not a lie. You're a lie.
Where are we? Shadow. All right. So 2 events for you, sir.
Cool. Hit me with them.
So, Jorman will come to speak to you and say, Warlords, I have received a request on behalf of salamanders. After eruption of volcano, red scale. Oh wow, hold on. I just reading this right now. It's funny. I read that word 100 times, waiting to start this, but I just realized the implications of this. We have never introduced this once ever in this campaign, once ever. Literally never introduced this. Like, so the implications of this is greater than that would be, because actually they aren't on this continent. So I have to actually change this. It was literally going to be something about kobolds. There have been 3 years of Aurorum.
There's no dragonoid stuff.
There's zero. The closest thing to dragonoid was the wyvern, or wyvern, right?
But they're not even true dragons. Well, neither.
Not even true dragons. Yeah, neither are kobolds. Sure, but kobolds also show a direct lineage from them, right?
So,
which is why they live as long as they do, and blah blah blah. So it's funny because there's something specifically here about kobolds, but they don't
exist. Well, not here at least.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the kobold invasion from overseas.
Yeah. But so kobolds aren't even on this continent, or at least not in a way that's really noteworthy. So I can absolutely make an adjustment right now. So that's easy to do. We're literally just going to change this to lizard folk because there are a fuck ton of lizard folk that exist on this continent, and it makes sense for the context we're going for anyways. So I'm going to push on with that one. I have received a formal request on behalf of salamanders. Apparently, after eruption of volcano, a tribe of red scaled lizard folk known as the Scorchclaw tribe has moved into the region and is causing troubles. As you knows by looking at me, few lizard folk have scales on their flesh, but there are some tribes, some types of lizard folk that have this abnormality. According to these salamanders, the lizard folk have been an annoyance to them of divine worship. Normally, this would not be a problem for salamanders, but their offerings have been problematic. The lizard folk would disrupt the salamanders' smithing and mining operations by giving them useless trinkets and baubles that they have either crafted themselves or stolen from our town on the volcano. While salamanders don't mind exterminating the lizard folk themselves for the sake of alliance and not scarring our citizens, they have allowed Shadow time to resolve problem by whatever means. Yeah, so Jorman's a weirdo. Go ahead, sir.
I see. So the Scorchclaw tribe is causing disruptions for our friends of the lizard folk, of the salamanders. Can we reason with these with this tribe? Have them maybe settle down within our lands?
Rima says,
offer them something more tangible to do than steal trinkets and baubles. Let them make crafts like ours under you, Jorman.
Rima says, kind of chiming in for what her opinion is. Rima says, perhaps we can negotiate a deal of cooperation that leaves everyone happy. Similar to how Theron has a working relationship with the local giants, perhaps we could do something similar with the kobolds. Despite their trickery nature, they're sorry, I say kobolds, fucking lizard folk.
Yeah, I got what
despite their trickery nature, despite these particular ones' trickery nature, they are also known to be very. They seem to be proficient as miners. Navigating through these tunnels can be no easy task, considering these are lands well outside their home. Having their cooperation in gathering ore for trade and protecting the mines at the volcano could be a great boon for Shadow and the salamanders. Perhaps having talks conducted at Jorman's smithy at the underground Snaga Forge shrine built there, maybe we can use religion to bridge the gap for us. Your marshal happens to be...
Does this plan involve driving them out? If so, you can just skip it.
It's literally called lizard folk hunting.
Yeah, skip it. We don't need to worry about it.
Okay.
TikTok wouldn't even say that. This is like absurd. My people aren't about murdering random
No.
tribes.
I'm gonna put a TikTok spin out. I spin everything here. I don't read it word for word. I read about 80% of it.
I got you. Just these are bloodthirsty people.
So TikTok would say, the salamanders want to hunt down these lizard folk to get rid of them. If we would like, we can allow them to hunt down some of them. Allow them to make a point, but keep their bloodthirst at bay for the most part. It would send a message, and it would also show our solidarity with them without needless bloodshed. They have been invading our lands. I have to apologize for not noticing this prior to them making it this far. And Jorman would chime in and say, these not normal lizard folk. Many lizard folk tribes are different than mine. They are smaller, much smaller than a typical lizard folk tribe. Much like the black, the black scale tribe. They are also small and tends to disappear in the woods. These ones are harder to notice. And not satisfied with that attempt to be kind, TikTok responds and says, does that mean I get a pass for kobolds? Sorry, for goblins? I don't think so. Again, Warlord, I do apologize for this, and perhaps showing a bit of our own strength and chasing them out of our lands isn't a bad thing, while, again, standing in solidarity with the salamanders. Next up to speak would be Atelia. Aimlessly hunting down the lizard folk in the volcano caverns would take a lot of time and doesn't ensure that they're permanently removed. A better alternative is finding the location of their den. Once we have that information, we can hand it off to the salamanders and give them directions so they can deal with them themselves. Our information is good. If our information is good, the salamanders might share more about their unique smithing practices or whatnot. Trade of information tends to equal for more. Sorry, trading information tends to acquire more information. I think last one here for you, sir, would be Tark. Tark is also a pretty mellow person, if I remember correctly. Let me just look at Tark. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, he's my architect.
Yeah, I just gotta remember the details about them. Because again, it's been a hot minute.
I don't think I've written anything about them. I haven't figured out what to do with
alignments, to Order of Tanzo, things like that are what I care about. Hobgoblin, Expert. Okay, cool. It's things like that I have to remember. All right. We can find an essential entry point where the lizard folk came in. That doesn't cut us off from any veins of ore. And we could close that system. It would make things more difficult for them to get in and out. Perhaps even trapping them in. But truth be told, I honestly don't like the idea of closing any of our tunnels. But I also don't like the idea of us being so exposed. Perhaps if we go with any of the other options, what we can do instead is to instill a checkpoint or a guard station of sorts down there. A watchtower, if you will. That would give us an opportunity to ensure that others don't easily find their way in through Underoath. But for now, sealing that up would provide an immediate defense and could potentially solve the problem as well.
If no one else has anything to say, aka Jake and Nick, I know what my solution is.
I'll just
Pete just says you should have them join Clan Shadow or leave. I don't see any other real option.
Oh, poor Pete. He's still so sad.
He'll be happy one day.
He just needs his PB rubbed.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Rainbow's choice here. I think it's and if we cannot convince them to join us, then we will have to drive them out. Yeah, Pete hasn't left yet.
Pete's leaving?
Don't worry about it.
Well, I kind of need to. Like, I play the characters. You probably tell me what's going on.
Nah, don't worry about it. You're here on your turn.
Let's see.
Sometimes you don't want to spoil things too early. You gotta keep
I forgot you weren't here when we were talking when that conversation happened.
Don't worry about it.
Right.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
It's cool.
All right.
I'm
Nick, what's your opinion? Do you want me to reiterate what those were real quick for you, Nick? Or are you good?
Sure, because I was totally paying attention, but I want
yeah,
to
you're good. You're good. You're good. Sure. First one was mining partners, so more or less see if they can help with mining shit. Mining or maybe some smithing and whatnot, because these are lizard folk, so lizard folk do tend to be decent smiths for their own strange practices. Granted, more archaic but practices, as well as these ones seem to navigate mines well. Maybe that could be beneficial. Number two, help the salamanders in hunting down some of them, because that would aid them, but not too many, because, make an example without needless bloodshed. Number three, finds their lair and just kind of trade that information to them in exchange for more information. That way they can do what they want with it. And number four, potentially collapse in the tunnels that lead to here. At the very least, set up like checkpoints or watch towers that would stop others from being able to easily come in from Underoath. Underoath being Underdark of Eroth, this continent.
What was that first one again?
Try to get them to aid you in mining or smithing.
Yeah, and that I forget which one of my ambassadors there, but their opinion would be get them to help you with mining. I mean, that's really the best option there that I see Clan Shadow taking. I don't see you sacrificing them to appease your other allies. So.
Yep, sounds about right. We're going with Rima's plan. To get cooperation going under the great Curleen.
Okay. So you want her to do it?
Yes. This
Cool.
is her job.
Okay, not a problem. So you're going to have her take care of this task. It's going to take a few weeks to get done because they're hard to get their hands on. It's a set of negotiations and where they're going to have them, blah, blah, blah. It is a stability check for Rima, which is a good check for you. That's a +3, so really solid. Rima already has a +7, so it's a +10. This is...
Yeah, cool.
Wait, Roz, I don't think ever gave me the focus and flaw of Rima. So we still don't have a focus for Rima. That's hilarious. I feel like her focus should be about cults. We're going to make her focus be cults because that just makes sense for her. Her flaw is piety. We've certainly see that play out a bunch of times. And then special trait.
Inquisitor.
Yeah, Inquisitor. Yeah, there you go. Cool.
To be, I guess, more specific, Truth Finder or something, but yeah.
Nah, Inquisitor's fine. That's fine for now. So either way, it's been like 14. It's been 14 months, so we helped out Roz. So,
so to what? It's a +10.
It's +10. So with that +10, you're rolling against a challenging roll. So it's only a DC 16.
I beat it by a lot.
By 10. So you absolutely destroyed the check.
So crit success.
Give me 1 second for critical success.
They happily join my clan. And it doesn't cause any unrest. In fact, it lowers the unrest because people aren't losing stuff anymore. Please?
Give for me a moment, please. Give for me a moment, please. Give for me a moment, please. All right, here we go.
Given the moment. I'm just getting some copium, you know?
Yeah, you do. You gotta get. So, all right.
It's cold.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just getting shivers.
So, they do agree to help. This actually more or less converts one of the hexes that you have down there into becoming a special lair hex. A special lair hex is nice because it increases your so this opens up a lair hex. I'd love to show the map to everybody, but like I said, the overlay is all screwy right now from missing PCs at some point in time. So it unlocks where they have been hiding, which is a special lair hex, which will exist. We will say it exists underneath this one right here.
Oh, the hex I don't own?
Correct, but the lair is underneath it.
So I have to claim 2 hexes. Oh, no, I can just claim it.
Correct. You can claim it, the ones going through the tunnels underneath. So you don't have to claim the surface one. You can just claim the bottom one and not necessarily have the surface land yourself. So you can absolutely just claim that on your turn when it's your next turn or whatever. And when you claim a lair hex, all the extra details go into it from there. Moreover, the salamanders offer an additional blessing to your people. They actually go through this extra ritual that offers a blessing to the onto the statue of what's it called?
Snaga the Abusive.
Yeah, Snaga the Abusive.
Or Krillin.
No, onto Snaga the Abusive because that's the statue that happens to exist where they met, right?
Yeah. That's the one that's under in my capital with Joran in his underground home.
Correct. So what this statue will do for you guys is it makes it so it's actually the way that they give the blessing is actually tunnel through the area to allow lava to pass through it, which provides like an additional constant heat source for the sake of, smithing and whatnot, as it was described ages ago in one of the other campaigns. So it's an additional heat source that can be used for the sake of smithing and whatnot. I think Rena was the one that took advantage of that technique ages ago. But anyways, the reason why I'm getting to this is more or less it's going to impact the weapons that are forged through the smithy for your armies to all have 1 additional fire damage applied onto them as well. So any weapons that are forged through this smithy moving forward will apply 1 additional fire damage, and that also includes for your armies that, like, what the hell is that shit? Mass combat as well.
So I would have to. So I would equip them with new weapons.
Yep.
Basically, and then they just deal 1 extra damage.
Yep. So anybody else? So more or less, any new armies coming up, or if you were to replace the weapons in time of your other armies, you would be able to apply the extra 1 point of damage. So more or less, mechanically, most of the time, Cell, all it means is +1 damage. To be clear.
I mean,
But then in some scenarios, it's +0 or +2, depending, right? So.
Why +0 to +2?
Based off of fire immunity or fire vulnerability.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So any future armies that you arm with weapons from here. And by the way, again, you can sell this stuff too. You can more or less, like, if Nick's like, hey, I'm arming my army, but my weapons came from Shadow. You know what I mean? That would come from it, right?
Yeah, no, that's cool. And also that's getting my city ready for my palace with flowing lava and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be sick as hell.
Cool.
I hope.
All right, let's do the last one for you, because we already did your random one, right, Sal?
Yeah, I believe so, because I have 75% right now. So
all right, I think this
have
is
to have rolled it.
Your last event, and then we can move on to Nick.
We have my thing to do, but
what's your thing?
The research, but that's not really anything. It's gonna take too long.
Okay. All right. So Nick, for you, sir. No, Nick. Sorry, for Sal. For you, sir. For your other one.
Yeah. My other one.
All right. So guards patrolling throughout your city, your capital city. They're patrolling over near to the barracks, and making the way around the city. Heading out of the barracks, making their way around the city. They eventually kind of meet their end point of where this particular group's patrol would go when they're planning to turn back. As their travel across the city goes, they get to a point where they can kind of like stop. They chat for a little bit before they turn around to head back to the barracks area, the start of their patrol. Let me say words in order here. Anyways, the edge of their patrol before they turn around gets them within sight of the new construction that's happening. The majestic building that's being put together, funded through Masumi for her son that she holds dear, so close to her heart. It's Pete's mansion that's there. Unfortunately, while they're within sight of it, they actually notice a horrible creature that seems to be jumping, or even some of them report as flying from the roof of this building as it's there. It was very, very quick that they noticed it, and the guards being like, what the hell was that? Not being afraid. These guards are proud Karak warriors and proud to be members of Clan Shadow. They move in swiftly. This building is important not just to Clan Shadow, but also to the relationship with Clan Densho. They know the significance, and if there is some sort of sabotage going on, they're going to investigate. They move in quickly to investigate, and unfortunately break out into a brief fight. Whatever the creature was that they encountered, they got away. It got away. The wounds of the guards, however, seem to very quickly begin to fester, and they're starting to show signs of some sort of disease starting to spread among them. This wouldn't be such a big deal. This wouldn't be such a big deal if it wasn't for the fact that they returned immediately to the barracks to speak to their report in what had happened and to tell the others, to share stories, various tall tales about how immense this is. This isn't reported even to the higher ups for another 2 days or so, because this is something that's all handled by all the many people that for all the many people that serve in their various rank and file well beneath the high advisors of your council, let alone the warlord themselves. So unfortunately, by the time it gets to you, which is days later, you find out about it not just because of the situation that transpired, but more importantly, because many in the barracks have fallen ill to the disease that seems to spread among them. Fortunately for you, you're catching it relatively early on, those initial guards, seemingly on their deathbed, and the others that they were first in contact with swiftly going south. But now you have almost all of the guards that are posted in that barracks are starting to show the early signs. Like I said, this thing acts very quickly. You're going to have to choose how you want to handle it. So, your Grand Diplomat, which happens to be Aaliyah, says, Warlord, these reports are disturbing. As much as I would like to put faith in our own people, and I wish not to discredit any of those that serve Clan Shadow, we all know who would be best at handling the situation, having handled multiple situations already now in his own clan. I suggest we reach out to Clan Kushibashi and see if our veteran disease experts can provide any aid in this scenario. Your high priest, which happens to be Rima,
she's busy though, right?
She's busy, so she won't be able to participate. So she just chimes in and says, if we try to outsource this, the curing of this problem, simple fact of the matter is, we'll have to belay the resolution. Things could get worse while we're waiting. It's not a bad decision, aside from the fact that we should have acted days ago, and now we're behind the ball. I would see to this myself, but unfortunately I'm dealing with infighting between the various tribes. Jorman's kind of a dick. Did you know that? She says, looking at the room, because Jorman's not here. Jorman's kind of a dick. Did you know that?
He's much better at talking in his native tongue.
She looks at you and says, why don't you tell that to the other lizard folk? And shakes her head.
Well, my experience is a bit different, I would guess.
Lenny chimes in and says, well, I could attempt to, see if myself or some of those that serve under me are able to identify the disease. I mean, if we can identify it fast enough, maybe it's something simple that we can solve ourselves. Or maybe, not. But I'd be willing to give it a try. And then finally, your spy master chimes in and says, others might already have a cure for this. It's just a matter of finding out who has, where, how, and acquiring it, even potentially pilfering it for ourselves. Your treasurer chimes in and says, whoa, stealing is entirely unnecessary. If there's somebody else that has a cure, we can just ask for it. We can send word out about our issue and use it as a white flag. Try to make truce with those in the neighboring clans. Kushibashi and Densho can certainly chime in.
Well, odds are if there's some filthy, nasty disease out there, Ryan has tasted it a few times. So reaching out to the other clans, Kushibashi even, may be a good idea.
He just nods at what he just said. He doesn't offer anything more.
I agree, but while we wait for Ryan to arrive, would it not be smart for us to try to analyze this disease? If time is sensitive, waiting for the days for our message to reach, I forget what your city name is, but
Shinren,
Shinren, and for Ryan to ride back here, it would be a week and a half, maybe even 2. I don't know how swiftly Ryan can ride. He is a frail sort.
What's her name? Aaliyah would chime in and say, Warlord, if it is your decision for me to reach out to Ryan, I suggest I leave immediately and personally. That would show the gravity of the situation.
I believe we should act now instead of waiting for Ryan to arrive. We have Mazada, an herbalist, one who has studied many remedies in of the natural healing arts. She could work with you, Lenny. With your knowledge and her expertise in the matter, I'm sure we can come to a conclusion.
Lenny nods and says, I'll absolutely work with them. If that's your decision, again,
She's on the council.
Oh, Mazada? What the fuck's Mazada?
Yeah, she's my hearth tender.
Oh.
She comes from the north. She was a herbalist.
Oh, that's because people moved. That's right. No, Mazada's been there for a while.
Yeah, well, because ever since Gorza died.
Yeah.
They came back from the north.
So anyways, Mazada says, I can attempt to assist Lenny in this situation. Lenny looks and says, oh, no, by all means. If you just want to take care of it yourself, I support that full-fledged. I have many other responsibilities. Actually, some would say more than most people that sit on this council. So I would not complain if you were to handle this yourself.
Note to self, make a new person to replace Lenny as treasurer. All right, the complaining bitch. I got the spots for it.
He's actually fine. So more or less, for him to maintain both of his jobs, he has to have 2 weeks of work, and the disease problem is only a 2-week project. It's just he can't handle 3 or 4 week projects because otherwise he has to sacrifice being at a job for a week.
Yeah, but can you stack people? Like, can Mazada give like a +2 or something?
We've done that before. Yeah.
Cool. Then that's what we're gonna do because I think that makes sense.
Actually, I think it's the other way around. I think it makes sense for him to stack on her versus the other way. I know what you're saying because his number's higher, but
his number's a lot higher.
But he's not a curer. He's a identifier. She's a curer.
You're gonna make me do this? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fine. I guess so. What is a stability check?
1 second. It is a stability check. Yep, which is also a +3. So you can roll him with a +13. And I won't say the DC yet.
No, I thought you wanted me to roll as Mazada.
Oh yeah, that's right. He just gives a +2 flat. That's right. My apologies.
Yeah. Well, so +9, +2, so it's a +11. So it's just a Lenny roll.
Yep. And by the way, the check for curing it is hard.
Okay, that's fine. I'll roll high. No, I won't. Never mind.
Wow, that's absolute trash.
It's by 7 exactly. So I guess I have to roll the luck. Right? That's how that works. No, wait. Critical failure is less than 7, right? Or is it 7 and less? Is it inclusive or exclusive, Scott?
It's when it's by 7, you fail. When it's by 7 above or beneath, you fail. Sorry, above you is critically succeed. So the 6 of doesn't matter, and then there's the 7th number matters. This is the 7th number.
So does this mean I critically fail?
A 14's a failure. A 13's a critical failure.
Okay, then yeah. There we go. Is it empty? I clicked it. It didn't work.
Oh, it's probably the API being broken again.
Well, is it empty, Scott?
I have no idea. Oh, there.
That didn't go well. But to be clear, as I said, I'm sending for Ryan too, but we weren't gonna wait. But multiple solutions.
Ready to try again?
Yeah, I guess so.
Ah! Oh, it's actually.
I really had two numbers that. I had literally 2 numbers that fail there, or critically fail. That's
I'm just making sure nobody gave you dice today. Cool. All right. So let me see the critical fail in this one, and then we can finish up for you and go to the other boys.
You can't kill another one of my people. All right.
I mean, we can.
No, you can't. I say no.
So with the critical failure, they still can't even resolve the problem. You can't even identify what it is yet. Unfortunately, this disease, it continues to drain their strength. And continues to drain their strength until eventually they can die from it. Now, with a few of your soldiers actually dying from the disease and others continuing to be more and more fragile, the problem is the disease is ongoing, and you're going to have to deal with it again next month. But because of this, not only are you going to lose... can I get 2d6 rolled in chat? So the next people to roll a d6 for how many soldiers he's lost in his army. And it is going to increase unrest by 1d4. I'll let you choose who the d4 is.
Why is it?
Only 5 soldiers. That's not so bad.
Then it's insignificant.
All right, you can choose who rolls the 1d4. Why is unrest a bad thing for you? I can't
Silent
remember.
was. Yeah, it's a bad thing, Scott. It's a bad thing for everyone.
Oh, it's 5. Your unrest is still 5. Unrest unrest affects all stats. Xylemus is rolling a d4 when they get a second.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
This Joey roll, I guess.
Yep, that's fine. And then
roll 1, please.
What was the last thing? We were saying that it was
I don't think it's gonna be a 2. Fuck.
Okay. What was your last thing, sir?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. We're gonna do some research, but I don't think it's gonna be a kingdom roll.
Oh, sure. Was the research bit?
Yeah, it's Gartesh from Jake's kingdom.
Yep.
And then my historian that's no longer on like my kingdom sheet as a member of like that, but they're still a counselor, Ishai.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So I don't know what you want this to be like.
Who the hell was your historian before?
Ishai is my historian.
Yeah, where's historian on your thing?
They're not on the kingdom sheet as a counselor there, but they're still on the council for my kingdom, right?
Because I understand that. What were they in your council before?
They were the curator.
Curator. Gotcha. Okay.
The curator's
steward, I think you call him now.
Yeah, well, they're doing different stuff now.
That's fine. Okay, so they're rolling to see. Sorry, they're trying to see what details. You got to remind me. Sorry, it's been weeks.
They're researching. I think. Do you remember, Jake? Is it just information on the dudes, that empire?
I don't remember.
Oh, Jake's character is a necromancer, right? That's who you said. You're a necromancer.
Are they a necromancer?
Isn't your character a necromancer?
I don't know.
Over the character sheet.
Throw that word around lightly. Right?
Over that character sheet.
Gartesh is a wizard.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
You didn't give Lenny wizard, but you gave them a wizard.
Followers.
They're adept, I believe.
Advisor type train Gartesh. I'm looking right now. Character sheet. They are an adept level 3. But they have spell focus necromancy and mage's tattoo for necromancy. Okay. They also have shadow hunter and intimidating and scar tattoo and arcane depth. Yeah, they're a necromancer. So that's what it is. Okay. So they're doing research specifically in that area to try to find out what the hell it is.
Yeah, and I think that's why Ishai is here anyway. Ishai is here to research that information.
Okay, cool. We'll do this until Nick gets back. So him and Ishai are trying to. I think it's a him, right? Am I wrong? No, Gartesh is a her. So they are, because there's 2 of them, 2 ladies, I believe.
Ishai is non-binary.
Oh, non-binary. Okay, so they applies to both. So,
yes.
So they are going to go down there and look at the various artifacts and the details that they can find down there and see what they can discover based off of the details they have. But also Gartesh themselves is going to try to literally study like the necromantic energies and what have you that exist down there to see if there's anything they can learn. Give me half a tick. Yeah. And they're a legit adept, right? They're not like one of the weird, funky, modified versions of adept, sir?
Okay, I'll have to open their character sheet.
I believe they're a normal adept.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just an adept.
Okay. So... they go down there and do their bits of research or what have you to see what they can discover. Sel, for this is going to be skill check. Why don't you have Jake? You're going to roll Gartesh, and you're going to want to have them roll knowledge arcana and knowledge religion and knowledge. Sorry. Let me don't roll anything yet. There's arcana, religion, history, and local. And planes. Those are the 5 skills. Each of them can roll 2 of them. You probably don't want overlap. I'll say them again as you're both looking at your appropriate character sheets. Arcana, religion, history, local, planes. Who wants to roll for what?
Is trash. So the biggest modifier I have, even for Arcana, is only 8.
8's pretty fucking solid.
So I'm doing history because I have a plus 15.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And my local is a plus 9, and that's the only other one. I have religion at plus 6.
Yeah, I don't have any other points. I only have a point in local, and it's only 4.
So his local's a 4, so your plus 6 to religion is better than...
So you can roll local, I'll roll religion, so we can both roll 2 dice.
All right, cool. Take turns. Gartesh 1, then Cell 1, then Gartesh, then Cell. And then it's next turn. Ooh.
Average roll, all right. Okay, not bad rolls overall. I rolled 2 10s. Let's
Perfect.
go.
All right, so I don't know if you want to screenshot or write those down. Grab those, and we'll go over what those details are after we're done making Nick spin in circles in his chair. Hi, Nick. How are you? Are you ready?
I am fantastic.
Can we talk about the Irish goodbye you gave me the yesterday?
That's because I was trying to leave, and I said goodbye to everybody, and then I got caught up, and then I was trying to leave again, and then you disappeared. So
I don't even notice, but I was floating the rooms. I was sitting in this room, then I was sitting in that room, then I was sitting in that room. Like I had to spend time with the various family members. I was chatting with Grandpa, I was chatting with Uncle Len. I had to spend time. Neither of Uncle Len's daughters were here, or his granddaughter. So like I definitely had to spend a lot of time with Uncle Len because his own children didn't show up. So like.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I was mostly talking to your brother and sister-in-law. I don't know.
You could expand that network. There's lots of other amazing people that you could have spoken with, like me.
Yeah, I think I was good with the company I had.
Did you have any mimosas?
No, I haven't drank in 6 months.
Aside from the recent Wednesday where they were being really mean to me, I haven't really drank at all either. So yeah. Yep. Well, anyways, I was like, "Oh, where's Nick?" At one point in time, they're like, "Nick left like 45 minutes ago," and I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, Emma forgot a bunch of shit here, so fuck him."
Oh shit.
She absolutely did. Yep, she forgot more stuff.
I think I have another. She has like now 2 sweaters at your house.
Yep, multiple things. So, are you busy on Thursday at all?
It's my standard. I have a meeting free for the second half of the day, so I'm totally not going to do any work. So.
Cool. Do you want to come over and help move some furniture?
So I actually have some stuff to do that Thursday.
We gotta make room for Brittany.
Yeah, I can.
It's not for me. It's for my wife.
Yes. So for that I will do, even though she kept pulling out more and more food Sunday, and I was just gonna die. I was gonna die, and I had to go to 2 more parties after that.
That's did terrible. You?
Yeah. Fun. That's why I left. Huh.
Right after everybody left, the neighbor across the street, the little girl, she was like, "Could she come over for an egg hunt?" And then like ran across the street, and Rory's like, "Bye!" And I was like, "Whoa, hold on. Yes, you may go. Allow me to go with you. Say hello." And like, anyways, and then she like found a bunch of like $1 bills in the eggs over there, and I was like, I look like the cheap parent because we just did candy, we didn't do cash. So I was like, all right, fine. Yeah, solidifies next year. We're definitely doing cash. Jesus Christ. Apparently Easter means cash inside of eggs. I didn't know that. So.
Yeah, that's how it is.
I didn't know that.
The hallmark of the holiday, just we're going right to cash. That's what it's about.
Apparently. Whoops. I thought candy inside the eggs, but anyways. Jake's loving this conversation. Jake, do you celebrate Easter?
Yeah. I don't give kids cash though.
You know, do you put candy in the eggs?
Wait, you give people cash
Nope.
on Easter?
So Sal wasn't listening. Do you do the egg thing or no?
Yeah, but I don't put anything in the eggs.
Wait. So they just find a bunch of empty plastic eggs?
Oh, you do plastic? Oh, we just buy them like the chocolate eggs and then hide them around. I don't know what you're talking about with plastic eggs.
Oh, so there's like plastic eggs, and you like put candy inside them, and you snap them shut. And I've got like hundreds
They
of them right
suck.
there. So you say that, but
No, just they don't close right. They always break.
When I
Sal,
when
it's
I
just
was a kid, my
incompetence.
parents used to do the
no,
real
I
eggs.
had them when I was a kid. That's why I always broke them.
My parents used to do the real hard-boiled eggs that you painted and they hid them in the house, and then they'd always hide them so well that you couldn't find all of them until like a month later when you had to find it. You know? It's terrible.
That's gross.
Terrible.
No, so there's plastic eggs. I'll show you later on. But anyways, plastic eggs, and you put shit inside them, and the kids find it. And it's customary to do a combination of like treats like stickers or candies or toys or cash or what have you. Like when our parents were kids, it was like nickels and dimes and quarters, you know. But you know, that doesn't really fly nowadays. That's with inflation, that's more or less like a $10, a $20, or a $50 bill. So
Okay, that's not. That's some boomer talk, quite literally.
but either way, so I'm glad your kids had fun as well. All right, back to the game. Nick, are you ready to roll your stability check?
Stability? Yes, I am.
Cool. While you're getting started on that, I'm going to try to fix the overlay. So you can get started on the most fundamental stuff. You know how the kingdom rolls go. So
I always forget. Upkeep phase, yes.
Sal, you want to watch over him while I'm fixing the
Oh, I was gonna run to the restaurant.
Never mind, you go ahead. He knows what the upkeep phase is. He said the
Yeah,
word.
you know what that is, right, Nick?
Sure. Totally not going to cheat.
How do you cheat?
I don't know. By hitting the roll button and nothing happens.
So let me do this.
I literally just did it and nothing happened.
Here.
Oh, it rolled.
All right. Let me move you over.
That was a good roll to get a 1 out on.
He said nothing
Yeah.
happened, but we see the 1.
I didn't see anything. I got nothing.
I could have been
yeah,
because
roll a 1.
could have been because of an update though.
Yeah. Either way, the stability check was a 73. So
All right, so 73. So you absolutely crushed that. Do you have any what's it called? Any unrest or no?
that's a good question.
I probably not. That's usually just a cell problem.
Yeah, I don't. I usually get rid of that right away.
Yeah, it's somebody that knows how to run a kingdom knows how to get rid of that stuff. Unrest really starts to flare up though when you treat your people like just they belong in mines. So.
Yeah, when you only bring on new staff just to put them in the mine, right? I mean, we knew that was going to be Cell's go-to. What do I do with these lizard folk? Oh, back in the mine.
It's only funny because he's not here. I don't want to razz him too much. So, all right. All right. So, anyways, but so you succeed. Did you? So if you had 0 unrest, then you don't forget to add 1 BP to your treasury.
Right.
All right. After that, sir, next thing you're going to do is you're going to pay consumption. For you, it's 1. Everybody crying. Do you wait? Do you start paying taxes this month? Don't you?
Wow.
No, I didn't because I kicked them out.
Oh, that's right.
Did you forget?
Yeah, it's a lot worse than not paying taxes this month. It's
So technically, he doesn't have to pay taxes this month, then I guess.
well, they might demand it later.
He does not have to pay taxes this month. You are correct.
What would the taxes be?
So on your
Good
spreadsheet,
question. You have no idea.
click the minimal button and go to heavy. That's what it would normally be.
Then click away.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah, but you might be getting worse than that.
What? No. You mean crushing?
Yeah.
Why? What does crushing look like?
It's 20%. It's gonna be like 10 BP.
That's all right. I already have a plan for how this is gonna work out.
Oh yeah.
I want to see it.
I'm curious how you're gonna enlighten us on this plan. Don't forget to pay your so more or less your consumption brings your treasury back to 37.
Yeah.
Do you have any empty magic item slots?
Do I? I definitely do. I have one. A potion or wondrous item.
Okay. That's what you need to roll for?
Yeah. Who wants it?
Let's stream this a little quicker. Why don't you roll a D100 for me, Nick?
Like that's gonna be faster.
Can't say the result. That's nothing. Let's move on. After that is going to be modify on rest. You have 0 on rest, so we don't have to worry about this one. If there's nothing else to do with the Royal Enforcer or what have you, so we can go past that. Let's go to the Edict phase. This will you assign leadership. Any changes you're going to be making to your leadership? Maybe make loyalty. Oh. So you could attempt to make a loyalty check to change Shala's effect from stability to loyalty if you would like. That would really help your kingdom. Was the note that's written on your notes. I think I wrote that during your upgrade video.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'll attempt that. Sure.
Yeah. So the DC, however, is not an easy one. Whenever you're trying to shift the position. Hold on one second.
What happens if I fail?
They might not provide any bonus that month, right?
Yeah, you just lose the stability for 1 month, but that's all.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. You can handle it. So, but you're going to make the check, and you have to make it with a -5. Nothing crazy.
A loyalty check with a -5?
Yep. So it's a plus 38 against the 49, so it's still pretty solid chance.
YOLO. Done.
You succeeded. Kudos, man. Good. So she actually just moved her, not her 10. Sorry, I think she has a feat. So I think you move 8 of it to loyalty and leave 2 on stability. Oh shit! You should have had a -4, but that's fine.
Oh, that is much better.
Right?
Yeah. So I'm about to do too.
Look at that! Look at that huge transition you have right there. Like you now have your loyalties getting to a point where it can almost be safe. You still got a little bit to go though. All right, after that, sir, for you is going to be claim or abandon hexes. Are you going to claim or abandon any hexes right now?
I don't think so.
It's been a weird month. I usually like April. It's been a weird month.
This month has been weird. It's been like insanely crazy, but like insane amounts of things happening that are positive. So
Spring renewals, right? We'll see.
I guess. Thank you, Zombie Jesus.
I'm just excited Brittany got that new job. That's so exciting. Oh my god.
And you know, actually, yeah, that is very exciting. Same. I mean, it's both of our SOs got new jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, she's gonna be working from home too, which is like super exciting. Oh my god.
Yeah.
The idea of Brittany being around more often is awesome. Like our entire relationship has been us being like far from one another. So
I'm actually terrified. Samantha's going to be working from home as well. She's going to find out how little I actually do during the day. It's gonna be terrible.
I feel like Sheridan knew that.
Yes, that's fair.
But there's a difference between knowing and knowing.
And yeah, there's a difference between she's gonna be downstairs on a call. I'm gonna be futzing around with my base upstairs, and then she's just gonna yell at me. And there's gonna be a lot of, "Can you please put on pants?"
You just say no.
Exactly. My house, my rules.
Well, I didn't mean that. I mean, like, it's not a work requirement. You met my boss.
That's right. Unless you want to do some real work. It's business.
Oh God. Oh God.
Oh.
There was that New Zealand reference for all you Southern Hemisphere people. And you're welcome for it.
That's gonna be in my head.
It's a great song. Jake, you like that song? You know what it's from? Nope. Okay.
Sorry, I'm making a new treasure.
That actually reminds me, I have a hype train, and I really don't want Eric to be dead. But if we don't resolve that, I'm going to have to replace him soon.
I also have a level 5 hype train. I think I'm going to use it on the pig. We said we would upgrade.
Yeah, cool stuff. Your turn's over, Sal? Turn's over.
I'm filling the dead air with you. Because Scott's fiddling with a fucking lake.
No, I'm waiting for Nick to be ready for his next step. Nick, you ready?
I am ready. Let's do this.
The lake is just filling in a little bit. It's not ready yet. I'm just showing progress because somebody asked. That's all. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So after that,
expand that canal.
After that, sir, is going to be did you claim any hexes or no?
No.
Okay.
Hexes.
So it was a no. Let's move on. So after no hexes, it's any terrain improvements. Hey, you want to expand that canal?
No.
No? No terrain improvements at all? No wood mills, no nothing?
No.
Just going to do nothing. Okay. Cool. Are you going to buildings? Let's see what buildings you're working on. Let's see. In Shinrin, you are currently working on your academy. Is going to cost you 6 BP or whatever you have. And that's going to take away 1 month. So it's done next month, not this month.
Yep.
Your tavern is done this month, though, which costs you 6 more BP. So that's 12 BP total, unless you have some sort of deal I don't know about.
No, that's... Yeah.
Okay. Tavern, you have none yet, so let's write tavern. And there's going to be one of those, which is very exciting. That helps with your loyalty, too. Let's see. Anything else being worked on? It looks like a no-go. Are you... let's go to Shinrotar. Anything actively being worked on in there? There was not. Okay, what do you want to build? Oh, wait, hold up. Stockyard.
Oh, the stockyard, yeah. So another 5.
So 5 more BP, and it's only got 2 months left, which is, thank God, right? All right. What do you want to start?
Hold on, let me reduce that last 5. Crap, I wanted to start building an army this time around, but I need that fucking academy to be finished.
So you're going to wait for next time?
Yeah. Which I feel like is bad. But fuck it.
Okay, so you're going to wait for the academy to...
Yes. What I am going to do...
So that allows you to save BP, though, so when it's time, you can kind of go all in with more BP to make it happen faster, which is totes an option.
It is. We will build another park over here in Shinrin.
He also recruits less soldiers with the academy out there. Yeah, academies increase the number of soldiers you recruit. Things like barracks and academies and castles all increase the number
I've
of
looked
soldiers.
at this. There's only 4 things that do.
Shoot.
I have it on the sheet.
I've looked at this,
barracks,
but I'm not looking at it. Yep.
It's gonna be barracks, garrison, fort, and castle.
Just those 4? Not academy.
Just those 4.
Okay,
Not academy.
So Nick, they're suggesting that you start recruiting now, so you can start training next month. But why don't you worry about buildings first, and then we'll go to army. So issue edict next, which is the recruitment edict.
Well, if you think so, training and recruiting are two different.
They are. That is a thing. Because first you have to
Yes.
attempt to recruit, and then you have to attempt to train.
Well, because the biggest thing to note is that you can recruit and you can keep recruits for however long you want. You don't have to train them. And then they could just be like militia. But yeah, that's like the big difference.
All right, then that's fair. Then I'm only gonna build because I'm pretty sure I nat whatted my my money roll last time, my tax roll. So I'm kind of hurting on funds. So that brings me to 16. So I'm done building. I built a park in Shinrin, and that should adjust my loyalty a little bit further.
Where's the park?
I just put it in. It's right next to the exotic artisan.
You mean Shinrotar?
Shinrotar, sorry.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that's why I couldn't see it. Where's the park? Wait, no, maybe it is Shinrin. Where the fuck's the park? Oh, I see it. It's still italicized, though. That's why it threw me off. Okay. Gotcha. So you paid the 4 or whatever to have that done?
Yep.
And did you add that into the down? So you have 2 parks down there? Cool. Yeah. So what's to set your loyalty at? Bro, that's pretty sweet.
Now,
53.
yeah.
That's pretty solid. That's that. Now you're going to have a hard time failing. Okay, cool. So next step up for you is going to be create an army, which you're obviously not going to do right now. You're incapable of it because you don't have any recruits sitting around. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to issue an edict, and this is going to be the recruitment edict. Now give me half a tick to look into how much this costs you because it's not free.
1 BP.
No. It can
Per
also
day.
it can also cost you more. Exactly. It's how many days do you want this to go on for?
Yeah, but you can choose each day if you want to roll or not.
Correct, but I'm getting the details pulled up. And you might already have them pulled up. I gotcha. But
They're in the spreadsheet.
What spreadsheet?
Yeah, they're in the Kingdom Notes sheet itself, put a little recruitment tab down there.
Oh, gotcha. I'm not over there. Leadership commanders, copy building paths.
You have to make a loyalty check against the DC in there.
Wait, where is the recruitment sheet?
It's at the bottom of the Kingdom Notes, right below Espionage Edict. There's recruitment and this.
Oh, okay. That's why. Cool.
I did a bunch of research with it, and I made it so it'd be easy.
Yep. I gotcha. Makes sense. What did you move to make space for that?
There was that was like a blank spot. They said give ideas for this
okay.
spot.
Cool.
So
Awesome.
I just filled it in.
I was like, I knew that we were missing something. Well, hey, that's what it is. All right, so recruitment, awesome. So you use 1 BP a day, but I think the bonus that you get for the various buildings or whatever you have only applies for the edicts, not for each day. But I could be mistaken. Oh, is it? Okay, cool.
Each day of recruitment. I mean, I'll look, but I'm fairly sure it's each day of recruitment.
Oh, you also can spend more than 1 BP a day if you wanted to.
Yeah, but it's ineffective to do so.
Yeah.
Unless what the example I gave Nick when we talked is that if you have like an invasion coming in 3 days and you just need a bunch of militia, you can spend like 10 BP.
Yeah.
To bolster your numbers. Yeah. But if you're not in like a rush to do it, then.
Nick, so how much BP are you going to spend? Oh, actually, you don't have to decide that. You're going to spend 1 BP a day, right?
Yep. Correct. Every day he can roll.
How many forts, garrisons, and barracks do you have?
This is up to date. So 1 barracks, 1 garrison, 1 fort. I was actually just debating if it was worth it to build another barracks.
Cool. Now you can only recruit piss on people. The level doesn't exist. You don't get to recruit higher level people, so it has to be just basic level 2. That's not true. Why would you be able to recruit higher level people?
You can recruit elites. It's through the same process. It's just you divide the number you roll.
Don't you train them to elites? No. You're right. You just recruit elites. Yes, I actually remember seeing that now. Yeah. I actually fully remember that now.
I've done. Listen, Scott.
No. I believe you. I I actually remember
I made
this
it
now.
as easy as possible.
So, Nick, that being said, what level of
There's been a
elites
lot
are
of
you trying
research.
to recruit? These are going to be probably. I don't know who's going to lead this army. Is this going to be like adding to Zara's army? Are you trying to make her group elites? What's the plan here?
I think this will be for mine at first, because right now Zara has the army, and I've been playing a hero unit.
Sure. So you want to have elites that serve underneath you first. Perfect. What level soldiers are you trying to have beneath you, and what class are you trying to have beneath you? Hello, I miss you, Tyler.
Oh, you can't recruit the samurai elites till you have the military academy finished.
Ugh. Yeah,
but you can definitely swell her army, though. You can get recruits to swell her army.
What? So her army is just level 1s, right?
Yeah, level 2s. CR1.
Level 2s. And they are not elites.
Nope. Standard. Just fighters.
Okay, yeah, we could do that. You know what we should have added?
Getting what I would kind of recommend for you, Nick, is instead of swelling her army, because they're going to be super consumption heavy because of the birds, you could just build 100, like you could build up to like 100 non-mounted units. And
let's see how big her unit is first.
It's 50.
To answer the question about who provides what additional kind of units, for you to have samurai, you have to have a foreign quarters plus a military academy or noble villa, right?
I thought
so. But we were saying that Daichi allows the samurai without the foreign quarter.
Also, I think it's silly for us to have foreign quarters for samurais, since this is like the Asian-inspired area.
I agree with you on that one. Yes. But either way, it's Daichi is the what was kind of set up as that.
Yeah, so I'm getting that as soon as the academy is done, correct?
Yes, that's just because you want to have the elites. You want to have the higher level people or what have you.
Yeah. Okay.
Ninja would still require foreign quarter though, because that's not accustomed to this area.
That's the jewels, I imagine.
Yep, monastery. Yeah. Monastery is appropriate for the other one, and so on and so forth. So what's up,
sir? So what happens when I want my army of druids?
Let's see, druids. You just need Sacred Grove and a military academy. Done. And I won't even fight with you on that one. It's just going to be higher. It's just going to be higher because getting spellcasters is very difficult to do.
So I can get clerics?
Spellcasters is very difficult to get in this region. So it's going to be higher. You have to. More or less, you divide them by a greater number to get a smaller number of them.
Okay. Well, It's going to end up being just one. But I can get clerks. Good to know. All right. That's noted. All right.
Sweet.
It's just, again, it costs a lot more money for you to get them, but you can.
Yeah. Definitely. I understand. It's just, I thought we were barred from getting spellcasters.
It's not, I don't want to 100% bar you, but I want to limit it severely. So.
That's fine.
Yeah. The only one I don't really see having spellcasters is Jake. I see Jake just having a ton of bloodthirsty people that eat people.
I disagree. I think shamans are a good fit for Densho.
So, my apologies. You guys want druids. You guys want clerics. He wants necromancers. I get it. Oh, sorry. Did I pronounce that wrong? Necrophiliacs. Sorry.
Oh, my God. Chill.
But anyways.
Reading out your own search history, eh, Scott?
Yeah, every time you send us screenshots of what ads pop up, all right, it's targeted ads, Scott. So that just tells us what you're looking up.
That's funny. So really, the Ashen Orc was more like a derogatory term because he was a corpse fucker. I'm getting. See, that's where that comes from.
Okay. But I would recommend you could swell her army, but I think making 100 standard troops is a really smart idea.
No, because I don't have anyone to lead them. That's really proficient.
You can make a commander, Nick. You have followers. And
that's not how I roll.
All you do is all you do is blow a kiss at Joey and say that I have this position open. And...
Joe, make 500, Joe. I can't afford 500.
But Nick, you're not gonna get you're not gonna find commanders to just recruit. You're gonna have to use your followers and have Scott introduce them.
Yeah, but 500 soldiers, Nick, is actually not that expensive. So when you maintain recruits, you got to think of this as consumption. Maintaining soldiers. What?
5 consumption.
5 consumption. Yes, that's how that breaks down to. Yes.
So
I don't even know if you could store that many.
Probably can't. Well, if they're in reserve, you can. But
I would like to get to swell Zara up to at least 100 to 100 units.
She's
And
50 right now?
then yeah.
Okay.
And then I would like an archer unit.
Okay. That's not a bad idea. So you probably want to get in total 100 more soldiers. So 50 more for Zara, plus another 50 to start building an archery unit. So even if you start that as 20, even if you start that as 20, you know what I mean? But
yeah. So let's I'm gonna recruit for 10 days and we'll see what happens.
well, you don't have to announce that at first. You just say, I'm starting the recruitment. You dictate, make a decision as you go.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're spending 1 BP, and we can do that literally right now. We can handle that first. So,
drop this to 15.
how much money do you have?
So I had 16 BP. I just spent 1.
Okay, so you know that what you're going to be doing. Where is Shinratar? Kingdom Notes. You're going to be rolling. So your loyalty check is, you have a modifier for reasons X, Y, Z. That's training. We're not training. We're trying to recruit. Actually, I don't think there's a loyalty modifier for recruiting. I think it's only for when you're training them and forming armies. Creating armies and training them. So, yeah.
The DC should all be there and calculated. And it's a top ranked one. DC and mod.
Okay, cool.
Plus, you get a +1 mod. You get a mod bonus equal to the BP spent. So that's another reason why you would spend it, I guess.
Oh, yeah, but you're rolling. So unless you roll natty 1, you fail. So you're good here.
Yeah. So you're rolling with a +54.
And then does this show how many elites he actually gets?
He's not recruiting elites now.
No, it's just show how many soldiers he gets. My apologies.
He's rolled the 96 is the number he gets.
Oh, and 96s. I see it right there. Okay, I didn't understand that part. Cool. All right, Nick, first you roll loyalty check, and if it passes, then you get to roll the 96. Wow. Is it only natty 20, though, that the special stuff happens?
Yep, then you get max on your D6s, which is fucking huge.
So you get to go ahead and just roll your 96, sir. And this so far has cost you 1 BP. Also, you have to know where we're storing these soldiers. So totally, let's look into that too.
Oh, yes.
How many soldiers does he currently have?
Reservists, I think, only count as half as much, which is what these would be.
All right, so 26 to start. That's good, Nick. Hold on 1 second, sir. So you have one army of 50, and that's it. And where are you storing these soldiers? Shinrin alone has... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think they normally are going to be at Shinrotar.
All right, Shinrotar can hold. There's a barracks there. A barracks holds how many?
Barracks holds 50.
So that's it. They're done. They're full. The barrack that town can hold 0 more. Now, when you look at Shinrin, how much can Shinrin hold?
Shinrin's a garrison.
Which can hold 200, I think, or 500. And it has a watchtower, which can hold 20 more.
500.
So 520 can be held here. So you're good. You have so many people here.
And armies in reserve are 50% of their size for storing. So it's actually only 25
But this isn't an army in reserve, though. These are recruits, which take up 1 for 1. So, yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So, Nick, day 1 BP. You don't need to count the BP. We'll do it as we go. Roll your loyalty check again.
All right, so loyalty check passes.
Just all you have to do is press up, enter.
Yep, I did. And I'm rolling my D6.
Yep, say the same thing, up, enter. Awesome. Grand total of, what's that, 60... No, 55?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, now you do it again.
Yep.
It's a pass, which is good news.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
55 is 86.
And we'll do one more. Ghost.
Okay. Roll shouldn't be stuck. Oh, they weren't stuck. The chat was broken, guys. So I didn't stick rolls. Literally, roll 20 was just flaking out and updating. That's all it was. It had nothing to do with like where it was scrolled to. If you just saw, it just literally appeared out of order and whatnot for a minute there. That's just roll 20 having its glitches. All right. So, anyways, what did I say before? 86. So that's 86, 88, 118.
Ooh, I want to go for the 150.
Sure. If you want to.
Yeah, you would say sure.
Yeah.
Ashen says sure.
No, he's talking to me. Oh, you can literally see that it displayed itself broken. Oh, check the VOD.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So what did I say?
32.
What did I say? 118.
Nice.
Okay, cool. 151.
I'll take it.
I was like Bacardi. Just name this army Bacardi. Do you guys have Bacardi 151 out there in Australia, Jake?
No.
Oh, sorry to hear that. All right, cool.
It's just Foster's. That's it. It's only Foster's.
Only Foster's. Oh.
I'm trying to. What is that horrible Chinese beer? I can't remember the name of it.
Sapporo?
No, that's Japanese.
Yeah, it's Japanese. I like it. So I just don't know if that's what you're referring to.
Is it Tsingtao? No.
I don't know.
I don't know. I gotta.
I like
I
Sapporo.
drank
It
so
comes
much
in,
of it.
it comes in a
don't
big
remember.
can. So, anyways,
Rocky
so
Bomb.
151 for 5 BP. That's pretty solid, right? But now you have to put into your kingdom area. You want to go ahead and put in reserves. So what is it? How many armies you have in reserves? It's no longer 50 people. Why does it say 2? Oh, because your horses cost more. So now that you have 200 people, right? You're gonna have your reserve army goes up by. So it's every 100 costs you 1 BP. So that's 1, 2 BP. Plus 1 for your horses means your BP goes up to 3 total for your consumption.
Gotcha. So where do I put that in here?
It's literally right here. And so now total consumption is at 2.
All right.
Okay. And so you spent 4 BP total. I think you were at 16 before, so now you should be at, I think, 12. No, 5 BP total, so you should be at 11.
Yes. 11.
Cool. I got that there for you. Awesome. All right. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay. So you recruited them. You can't start the training edict until next turn. But
Yep.
you recruited them, which is exciting. All right.
Can you not do the training in the same thing?
No. It's actually inside the rules. It specifically
Really?
says next turn. Yeah.
I thought it was as long as you had enough.
No, you specifically start the next
left.
turn. Yeah.
No.
If you go into the ultimate battle, I believe goes into it. Give me 1 second. Let me scroll down.
I think what you may be thinking of, I'm not sure, but is
Recruiting an army,
that
standard rules. Here we go. Once you get them, blah, blah, blah. Reinforcements and training. Once a sufficient number of soldiers has been attracted, you begin forming them into one or more armies or units, spending a number of BP equal to twice the ACR of each unit, plus any modifiers or equipment to create the army. At this point, the army or unit must train until the end of the next kingdom turn after the recruitment edict was issued. At which point, another loyalty check is da-da-da-da. So you could technically say, I start training them now, but they're not done until the end of the next kingdom turn.
Yep.
So
Sounds good.
that's what I was thinking of.
But you have to spend the BP to start training now if you want to train them down there, which is twice their ACR.
But he does want to do that, I think, for his, if not his soldiers, for the other ones. Yeah. So Nick, you want to start doing that now?
Yes, sure.
So For the army, let's do the archery one first. You have 150 soldiers standing there. How many are going to her? I imagine 50 to double her.
Correct.
Okay. So you're going to have the other 100 become 2 smaller armies or 1 larger army?
One larger army.
Okay. So you're just going to do 1 larger army. Okay. So there is, looking at the complete battle. So up page around 24. Let's go up to this part. Let's look at this. A group of
ACR,
100 soldiers.
7 ACR. So it's 14 BP.
So it costs you 14.
I can't do that.
All right. So you want to train at least one group.
Hey,
So-
if you, on the spreadsheet, you can type in the numbers and I'll tell you how much everything costs.
So size 50, CR of creature 1, ACR is going to be 5, BP per month is going to cost you 10. There you go.
Well, no,
So
so when you're stacking onto an army, you're paying the difference of the new ACR. So it'd only be 4 because you're adding 2 to the ACR.
Well, wait, what?
Well, because when you're adding to an army, it's different than when you're recruiting a new
I
army.
understand that, yes. But
So you're paying the difference in the new army when you're training it.
So to be clear, I understand. Okay, because before it was 10. So if you want to swell her versus starting a new army, you'd be paying 4. If you want to start a new army, you're paying 10.
Or no, 14. Because it'd be 100 people.
He could do just 50 instead of 100.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Do you want to swell hers versus starting a new one?
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
What does she have for equipment? Because they have to match her equipment.
She has light mounts, ranged weapons.
Yeesh. Okay, give me 1 second. This slows things down if you're trying to swell hers.
Well, it's not that bad.
So hold on. Going from
Light
equipment goes. Oh, it's only 25% more. That's actually, you're right. That is not that bad. Because it is legit 25% more. So, how much do mounts costs?
9 light mounts. Oh god. Times 0.25. So it's 2 BP, 2.25 BP.
Light mounts usually cost 6. What are you talking about, 9?
Oh, I was looking at chariots.
So it's he probably paid 5 before, right? So he probably has to pay 1 now.
Yeah, he probably did.
So 1 for the mounts. So 4 plus 1 is 5. And you said what, ranged weapons?
It's 1. So you just probably pay the 1.
Again, if he just pay 2 total to cover the change of the mounts plus the new weapons. So it's 6 total BP to swell her army, and you have to make a loyalty check. The loyalty check you have to make is with a penalty equal to. Let me look this up real quick. But the new ACR or the difference?
I don't think that's covered.
I'm trying to get to the point where it's trying to get back to that recruit point. Where the fuck did it go? There you are. So it's reinforcements. No, not recruits, not reinforcements. Reinforcements, replenish bloodied. Of recruits. Training. Recruiting. I don't know if it'd be equal. I don't think it'd be equal that though, sir. I think it would equal the difference again. It shouldn't be as hard.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they're following the lead. So if the ACR is what for the army of 100?
It'd be the 4 is the difference.
Yeah, so if it's
Or
100.
2 is the difference. Sorry.
So the ACR is 7, so it's supposed to be 14. 14 divided by 4 is what's that? 2.5? So, 3?
It'd be 2.
You sure only 2?
Well, I think
no, I'm saying of the total. My apologies. I'm saying of the total, sir. A quarter of the total.
Of the total. Oh yeah. It's 3.
So 3.5. Yeah, 3.5. Round up always. So 4. So Nick, you're rolling your loyalty check with a penalty of 4.
Okay, so that's 49.
Are you rolling a 49 against a 49?
it would actually be twice that. You roll against twice the ACR as a penalty.
Oh, that's fine because he didn't mark what it is there, so that's fine. So, oh no, the penalty has to be applied, doesn't it?
Well, he would have failed with the penalty applied.
Yeah. So no, I'm saying he has to re-roll because we have to change the modifier. It's not like we're changing the DC; we're changing the modifier. So
Yeah,
Nick, you have to
-8.
re-roll. It's not a negative. It's not a negative 4. It's -7 because there's 3.5. So it's -7.
Okay.
More
Sorry.
generous.
Well, no,
So,
because it wasn't.
-7.
But the 4 was a penalty.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 46.
Which makes sense. But then that adds up to, because an army of 100 would be.
All right. Do
Just
you
make
beat
it.
with that?
Yeah, he just makes it.
What's his DC? 59.
59.
Wow. Good job, Nick. You just barely made it.
Wow.
No, his control DC is 49.
Why is this grabbing?
His control DC is 49. What are you talking about?
Oh, I was looking at my sheet.
Yeah, Nick, you're fine. You made it.
Yeah.
You made
I
it,
was looking
sir.
at my sheet. That's on me.
All right. So
Oboku goes to size 100.
yes. So you still have 100 soldiers still sitting there with their thumb in the bum, but otherwise, Haboku goes to size 100. The big thing to note is, go ahead.
Yeah, it goes to size 100, but it's not done till the end of next turn.
Cool. All right. That's very exciting news. Haboku, when they go active, though, is very expensive. Their consumption
Oh my God,
goes
9.
through the roof. Yeah.
Don't they? Isn't it time they get another tactic anyway?
No, they don't just get tactics.
They won like 7 million battles.
Did we never make those loyalty checks for you?
I don't think so.
Oh, we never made those loyalty checks for you with your lower number?
I don't think we ever made the loyalty checks when we fought the Red Mongrel at Skull anyway.
No, we applied the rule after that.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. But...
So Nick, oh boy. Wow. Okay. I'd be fine with you rolling a loyalty check, but your DC is not a 53 at the time. Your DC, your modifier was way lower a couple months ago.
No, it was like a 40 or 41.
Yeah, I'd be fine with you. Go ahead, roll a 41. You have to do it twice, because if you had combats that you made recently against your 49.
So what is it?
Plus 41 against your 49. Yep.
Failed one. Hey, passed one.
Hey, you made it. All right, so you, sir, are able to go ahead and learn a tactic.
Awesome.
You can worry about that later on. So, for now, let's get back to the actual things that you were working on here, sir. Kingdom Most Man. My back is killing me again today. I think I fucked something up with my chair, too. It's like my chair doesn't give me the same support that it used to. I'm sitting on it funny. I'm going to have to fix that. All right, so... after that, sir, are you done with the edicts? Any other edicts you want to change?
Nope.
Let me just look at your edicts real quick. Might I make a suggestion?
Go ahead.
Your recruitment edict is aggressive, which hurts your economy a little bit. Look at your maximum manpower you can use, and the fact that you have used, it says you've used 70. I guess now you've used more than 70 because you just recruited 150 more. But I don't even know why it says 70. Did you have like an army that was killed?
You did.
Yes.
So your casualties should go up again, but use stays the same. Okay, so it just goes up by 150, so it goes to 220. But if you change your recruitment from aggressive to normal, look at that.
Yeah.
It's still way more than you need.
I guess we could leave it there for now.
The elites might matter. If you want an army, you need 150 elite slots available to have an army of, I think, 50 level 4 elites.
Oh, okay. That would matter then.
Okay. Then we'll leave that there. Yeah.
Okay.
Is Karzog a commander class?
I have no idea what she is.
Oh.
I don't. I never really refactored her. So.
Oh shit. Jake, did you see the video of like how your warlord just changed?
Yeah.
Did you see how big your army can get?
Yeah, I did.
Did you hear all the shade I threw at you?
Yeah, that's why I was like, we need to get some things straight here, Scott.
Yeah, because I'm just saying, Jake could have an army of 10,000, and he's got an army of like 5.
Wait. So we already went into this, and I'll put it back out there again. Having an army, Scott, right? You're training them and all that, right? And then having them go active. You know, the consumption exists, right? So you need to build up before you can actually field bigger armies, correct?
Sure.
Yeah. So by some of the logic you were putting out there, we should have these, a lot bigger armies, except we'd be tiny and wouldn't be able to have put money into buildings to actually grow to support these bigger armies.
That's just true, Scott.
No. It's easy to have the NPC nation, what do you call it here, who has 17,000 troops, you know what I mean, who never actually had to grow and get them.
No, they grew. Okay? They grew and got them over the course of decades.
They grew and got them off
They've been there for a long time.
Non-existent character sheet.
Yeah, they've been there for a long time. It's like you're saying, like when you watch a movie, the fact that the villain of the story already earns their place as a villain.
Yeah, but like you can't compare then our nations to the nations of
Skeletor earned his power off screen.
Well
to nations that have like
things who've been there for
70 years.
Let's just say, so many years, whereas we've been in game for what, 18 months?
It's been like 2 years.
Okay.
Oh no, it's been a year and a half. Yeah.
Now ask yourself, how's the red mongrel paying his consumption?
Exactly.
He's not, right? They just loot everything. They don't pay consumption. They just get paid by raiding.
Can't loot anything if we're burning the cities first.
Well, you didn't burn the city first. You burnt the city after you left. Let's get that clear. Okay. You already sacked.
That's what we're telling our people, Nick. That's what we're telling them.
You already sacked that place way before you got.
Maybe the red mongrel is receiving what's the word I'm looking for here?
Donations.
Security payments. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some nations just pay their security fees.
All I'm saying is before you start throwing shade around, maybe you should think about this stuff.
How many times are you gonna see Shadow in one goddamn situation?
Just saying, throwing Shadow around is pretty easy. He's pretty lightweight. All right, are we done, Nick? So we can go back to Cell's turn.
What?
No.
I mean, hey, if that's all that's gonna happen, yeah, sure.
I have no events. Nick will take it.
Oh, there's events for you, Nick. There's
one big event coming.
But yeah, give me the 10,000 loyalty checks, please. Yeah.
All right.
Can I get a stability check somewhere?
A stability check? What's the stability check for?
Don't know. But it'd be nice to use one of my bigger numbers to roll for something.
All right, that's April. So you're done. Okay, close you.
Yeah, he gets to roll taxes.
What?
Nick, you gotta roll taxes. Don't let him do your event pays without taxes.
That's true.
Scott,
I genuinely forgot about taxes.
No,
I didn't.
I don't. Right. You're not that cruel.
Are you withdrawing anything from the treasury, Nick? Do you want to actually start taking out like a BP here or there to start lining your pockets of coin?
I already did that.
Okay. So skip that one. After that, sir, is going to be do you want to make any deposits?
Nope.
And I can sell expensive items.
Do I have any prisoners to sell the cell? No.
Whoa.
Okay. Now it's time to collect taxes. Oh God, I'm so tired today. I'm so tired.
Oh, it's still empty. I feel betrayed.
All right, sir. Why don't you go ahead and roll that economy of 64, which is pretty solid.
Let me make sure that's up to date. Is not. Tax collection.
God, I'm so tired. It was a long day at work. I came home, immediately sat at a laptop.
Is that bonus BP still accurate?
Let me check.
Yes.
Yeah, it's from your terrain.
Awesome.
And you keep not building more terrain, so it's going to continue to be accurate as it stands. That's a middling roll. 30 BP is not bad.
It's a good amount of BP.
Take it.
Treasure. Wizard.
All right.
Okay. So we good? No events for you? Do you have any events that you can think of, Nick, that still need to apply to you?
I need to find Eric.
How are you gonna find? How you gonna find Eric?
I don't know.
I mean, I have a couple events for you, but I mean, what's your plan for finding Eric?
The only thing I could think of is either sending out the Royal Enforcer or Conscript.
Royal Enforcer or Conscript. Okay. To go find him. Mind you, if you send somebody else out, there's a chance that, you know,
I lose them too, yeah.
You really want to take that chance? You know that it's a very slim chance they find anybody.
Nick, don't forget, if you want to use the BP, you can get a +10 to the roll. If you're really wanting to find him, you're giving yourself the best chance is by hiring adventurers to help with your advisor.
But he also really wants to train elites too, which is expensive.
That is true. So
And
you'll have to weigh up what you
and he has to
want
spend a
more
lot of
now.
money on his finishing up his building next turn. So I'm agreeing with you. Yes, that's absolutely a really good option if he really wants Eric back.
Also, don't forget that some of your advisors, I don't know if you've used them or not, have like the +3 to a single advisor check.
Yeah, I haven't looked at any of the new advisor stuff. But...
Okay. So who do you want to go in there and try to find? You're not my type, sorry.
Oh my.
Do you want to send Todd Screet?
Probably not.
Why? He's a good person. And he's unyielding. I will warn you. You are welcome to try this, but with him being as gone as he is, it is a nigh impossible role. And because of what you're asking, of your people, it is a loyalty check. It just makes sense. You can absolutely try, and this is absolutely achievable. For instance, if you were to send, Ton Screet in there, who's a base 6, he gets 0 from loyalty. By spending 16 BP, you get him a +16 on the roll, but he still would have to roll a 16 or higher without anything else to add to it. I don't know if you have any Winifred's Wisdoms, stored
Does
up.
Tonscreed have his advisor thing, or has he used it?
Does Tonscreed have
ready to
that
check.
additional advisor ability?
Yeah.
He has not used anything yet.
Yeah, let's look at Tonscreed's abilities. Is there anybody else have abilities that can apply to assist in Tonscreed doing this? Advisors, Patreon, Tonscreed. All right, Tonscreed has. Let's get it down. Oh, okay, it's different. Nope. Nope. Competent secretaries. Nope. Friends in high places. Is that what it is? +3 to a single check. So I said if you spent 16 BP, that gives you from a +16 to a +17, 18, 19. So a +19, right? +19 is huge. You can definitely do that. Again, against a 32. It's still a rough roll. I have to roll 13 or higher, I think, right? But anybody else have abilities that can assist you?
I don't think so.
How does Zhao Mifang have? They're from there.
I'm looking.
Unfortunately, Zhao came later on as a person, so they have less abilities to offer. I'm trying to see if anybody has anything. You can certainly send Zhao in with them. You know what I mean? Zhao's from there. It would apply an additional +2. You know what I mean? They have hunter tactics, and they can actually treat out teamwork feats and shit like that. Like,
I don't know.
do you want to do it? Want to send Zhao in?
Yo,
I mean,
all my people in there.
Winnie's and Luck would definitely be able to save you, but unfortunately, I don't think you have any Winnies or any Luck, so nothing's gonna be able to save Eric. So you're literally rolling. If you use that +3 ability, you're rolling with a plus. What did we just say?
So,
16 BP.
Here's the thing: is
Shoot.
Eric became a follower. So what is the penalty for losing the follower?
The normal penalty for losing a follower. Your what's it call it?
No.
Your score goes down.
Oh, the army of followers that I talked to you forever ago is impossible. Because then I would just end up losing all my leadership score.
You'd be killed. So it would decrease my score. Ah, painful. I cannot count on myself to roll well. So we're just gonna let it go.
You have to let it go.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll and see what it would have been?
No, I don't want to do that.
You don't want to roll with the +19? Sorry. Assume you spent, the +19, see what it would have been?
No.
I will.
Well, your roll isn't Nick's, so.
I know, but I can still roll
That's
the +19 to see what it is.
Skill focus, merchants.
Oh! Look at that. Even Joey rolled high enough. Oh, boy.
I hate you.
Nick, that's not what you're. Nick, if you rolled, you're gonna roll like a nat 1.
Yeah,
and
you
kill
would have been.
Thompson
You would have
or
been there
something.
with Steve. Yeah, I agree. So. Okay. All right. Well, as long as we all understand where the results are. Okay.
So I'm gonna add another one to that failure score on my leadership calculator.
Another one. You lost someone before?
No,
Yeah,
I
here's
think
what
that
I'm
was
talking
for
about.
losing a city, but it's this thing. It's this thing. I'm not gonna add another field.
Okay. So moving on. Let's we have to officially move Eric from your kingdom, which means that the penalties have to apply for missing Eric. So
They already
losing.
were.
Let me check. Oh yeah, you're right. They were. Wait, isn't there also something else that's supposed to happen? Did you ever get unrest for it though?
Did I? I didn't update these sheets to do that, did I?
I believe so.
I don't.
If
think so.
not, I just built a park, so unrest would go down anyway.
Oh, would it?
Or one of my buildings, unrest goes down. So
Park does make unrest go
yeah,
down.
park.
So does the barracks if you built that.
Let's just double check the rules on losing one. Not
Let's
advocating.
see. For high
Well,
priest,
Joey,
your stability and loyalty decreases
No,
by
no,
2.
not that. That applies. I mean, if somebody dies.
Only
Looks
the
like
ruler
Joey
has a
filled in
special
another character.
precondition.
Yeah, so nothing special. All right.
Favorite.
Yep. Sorry. So no more. Eric. Eric's dead. So it's not even MIA. It's just DED. Dead. Sorry.
Hey, listen. I know how it feels.
Yeah. Sorry, sir. Just dead. All right. Moving on. Nick. After that, is you ready for your other events?
Yes.
You ready for the north? Or do you want to roll your random one first?
Let's go with the north first. That way, I'm going in with full stats.
That's fair. That's a good one. Let me just read something real quick, and then we can get back to that. Okay, cool. So, you, sir, get warding from your marshal. Oh, okay. From your marshal. Warlord. I come bearing heavy news for our clan.
Speak.
The northern clans have sent a scouting party to the south to investigate the area. We've countered with our own scouting party and have seen that their armies are marching on Clan Kushibashi. If we had to guess the number, it's probably 1,000 strong.
That's to be expected.
He looks at you with a bit of a concern in his face. Tonscreet's not very emotional, but he shows concern in his face, and he says, I wouldn't know. I don't know if the word expected is the one I would use.
Actually, this is quite a minimal show of force from what I was expecting.
He nods. They seem to be marching on Shinrotar. Shall we engage with them? Shall we summon our army?
Yes, we'll meet them in the field.
Most of those that you've just recruited are still training. I imagine we're going to leave them behind to continue their studies.
Correct.
He nods and says, So we are going to march against them with 50 soldiers. Granted, mounted, but nonetheless.
We're not marching against anyone. We are meeting them in the field.
He nods. You're going to want to activate them quickly, Warlord, because if you do not, then there is a chance that they will be on the city before we're able to meet them in that field. To activate an army from reserves is, what is it? A loyalty check? DC equal to, penalty equal to what you call it? The ACR?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, on the wrong thing. Not equipping. It is standard reinforcements, recruiting, maintaining reserves. You can put it to reserves 50%. Actual number. Any army building reserve armors described under. They can be put on active duty at any time. This does not require the kingdom action, but does cost BP equal to half the army's ACR. And consumption must be paid on a weekly rather than a monthly basis. In addition, the army takes a -1 penalty to OMDV and morale until your next kingdom turn, or until it survives its first battle, whichever comes first. So you can activate your reserve army by paying half the army's BPR. ACR, sorry, and BP. What's her current army's ACR?
I gotta bring it back down.
It's 7, so half of that's 3.
Yep.
Okay. Make a loyalty check to try to hit the speed. Normal.
What's the DC?
It's going to be a normal loyalty check with a penalty equals the ACR of the army, which is 7. So it's plus 46 against 49. Woo! Nick, that natty 20 loyalty check right there. They immediately spring into action. Take back a BP. They immediately spring into action, are very happy to do so. If you remember, Zara fought to defend the city Shinrotar once before when it was attacked. And she just barely held the enemy at bay. Mind you, she herself wasn't even able to. She was actually defeated, and it was your secondary army that was actually the one that's since been crushed. Was able to do so. She is more than willing to prove her worth now. She jumps up. Says, you must be joking. Come on, Judge. Her neck ain't broken. Well, I'll be damned. Wrinkled old bags had her crying on the stands. Sorry. I know we shouldn't talk about Will Smith in light of his recent activities. So you, they jump into action and start immediately riding forward. Honestly, I don't lie. If you didn't roll well, I was going to have them meet you in the field of your town. So, So you actually are able to meet them along the slowly forming lake's edge. Let's drop a flag here for you just to make things stand out obvious. When you arrive there, that's a nice flag. When you arrive there, Nick, to see the armies are situated in this neutral land over between the other clans. When you arrive to meet with them, you can see that they are clearly kind of set up on the other side, 1,000 soldiers strong. They send a rider over to speak with you.
Yeah, I'll meet them.
Okay. So you meet with the rider, and they say, we are here to speak with the warlord of clan. They look down. Kuchibachi.
Yes, so I would be better informed if I were you, unless you want to be added to the list for this wonderful venue of people who are going to witness the honor duel for the slight that your man presented. I wouldn't execute him on the spot, so there was no confusion as to why he will be losing his head. But I formally am requesting a duel with whatever his name was.
They raise an eyebrow. And they say, "The hell are you on about?"
He insulted a warlord in his own lands quite vigorously. So this is the repercussion.
Are you the
And
warlord?
then this is correct.
Then they bow. My apologies, warlord. I didn't realize that you were coming out here yourself. And then they stand up and they say, "Clan Kushibashi, I am here on behalf of the northern clans to present to you the terms for you to sign." They hand over a scroll for you to read. I don't know if you take it or you have Tonscreet lend a hand.
Yeah, I'll have. Yeah.
Tonscreet's
I don't want him to fall off his bird. I would most likely have brought Deserox with me. So our Deserox, yeah. So.
Okay, so Deserox.
Oh no, Michiko. Sorry.
We'll grab the documents and have you look them over. So the documents say that first and foremost, that it is expected that you will be paying taxes equivalent of 20% of your earnings, more or less like 20% of your GDP, to the northern clans in exchange for, of course, the protections and whatnot that they provide for you and all the additional services they provide, the land that you've been able to expand into, all the normal support, the stuff we've talked about with the other two clans, blah, 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 right? So 20% of your taxes, that you owe recompense of 10 BP for the way that you've dishonored the clans that are set up to the north. And on top of paying that recompense, that you're going to have to make a formal apology for the slight that you've done against the northern clans. The apology, it is, what's his name, Ichigo, trying to find something light in the matter. It does say it could be a written, it doesn't say what kind of apology. Perhaps we can do a written one.
No, so Michiko, please pen the returned rebuttal that the clans will receive their 10 BP after I receive my 10 BP for their breach of contract because we were assaulted by the Red Mongrel coming from the northern lands. So they are in breach of their protection agreement. And then as far as the insult, I will pen an apology after their tax collector accepts our honor.
So it is 10 for the. He looks to you and says, "May I speak?"
Speak your mind, man. We are not barbarians here.
By the way, did you bring Ferris with you as well? Your treasurer.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and probably Daichi.
So Ferris would chime in and say, well, I don't... No, Daichi would chime in, sorry, and say, I don't think that the protections that they're referencing you're having in the future would have been in place at the time of this attack from Aurorum. So, unfortunately... I think there is no water to your argument for this. You might just be trying to make a point, but...
Should we request aid then?
He raises an eyebrow because he's not trying to play coy. He's trying to give you advice.
Yeah, so if those were outside the terms, then we should request aid for the assaults from the Red Mongrel.
Well, certainly that's something that we could do for the future assaults that could be coming in. That is absolutely an option that we would have. But I'm just saying you're requesting a payment of 10 BP, of course, just to as a means of flushing out the expected payments. But the details by which you're asking for this don't make sense because they're outside of when the additional protections would be taking place.
And when are the additional protections taking place?
Moving forward with the agreement of the taxes that you'll owe in the monthly.
Then I would have to insist that they take that 10 BP from their tax collector's estate.
He nods and says, I think that's the other angle that you've taken is not a bad one. Trying to turn this from a slight from you, warlord, to the northern clans, and transition to what it was a disagreement between yourself and some underling, and looking for an honor duel to correct that situation. I think that's an angle that is appropriate. Then that would wipe the BP, the owed payments off if they can recognize that you did not slight against them. The formal apology being, of course, for their misunderstanding or your actual offense against them, but letting them know that there was no offense intended against them. It was against that in particular individual. That would potentially be a way of getting you your chance for your own recompense and dissuade them from seeking the additional payments as well.
I think that's how we're going to go. We can wordsmith it however we like.
Yeah, well, you're going to want to draft that apology.
Yes,
He nods. Okay.
We will draft the apology, and we have always intended to pay our fair 15%.
Ferris chimes in and says, while I agree, I definitely agree that we should be paying the 15% that it seems as though our neighbor clans pay, as opposed to this asks 20%. I don't know how many different problems you want to approach at once. Maybe not combating this right now because we have an army literally at our door might be a good idea. We could instead counter in a different way. Instead of owing the 20% monthly, perhaps we pay them the 20% quarterly. This would allow us time to build our reserves, pay it out in a big chunk that we're not happy with, but it allows more money in the bank to work with in the interim. We could use that to continue building ourselves up and then be prepared for a big, payment afterwards. And then after maybe a quarter or two, we can then renegotiate. But tensions are high right now.
Let's see.
If you wish to counter that with the 15 or lower, I will do whatever you ask, Warlord. We're outnumbered 20-1 right now.
You can agree to the 20%, put in a clause for renegotiating within 6 months' time.
That might require a degree of groveling.
Their apology.
Yeah. Michigo will chime in and say the apology is going to be handwritten. The groveling, will be handwritten.
Right. Yes.
And so all of us, all of us sitting there, kind of like discussing this amongst each other, and just to recap it in the meta, more or less agreeing to the 20, but you want to renegotiate in the future. Fuck you and me paying you 10. I didn't offend you. He offended me. So why don't you just ignore that little bit and I get to have my honor duel?
Yes.
Also, please don't kill me. Okay. So you counterwrite these terms. This isn't a quick thing. This takes a couple of hours. While they're there, you guys are discussing, and then you have this thing written out. Who's going to write this?
That is a probably...
Oh, look at the stats that are already with you. You didn't bring any Patreon ones. These are all. So it's going to be Daichi, Ferris, and Michigo. Okay. So for diplomacy, you have 23, and for linguistics, you have a 2. All right, over here for diplomacy, a 1, and linguistics, a 3. But that's okay, because that one doesn't have to do linguistics. That one can literally just be their treasury job. And this one, Daichi. Linguistics 8, thank God. Diplomacy 9. Okay. So you're going to want Daichi to do the writing because it's linguistics. But Michigo is going to be able to aid with their plus 23 in diplomacy to make sure it's phrased well. Right? If flowery enough. And as for Ferris, they can roll their profession merchant for the negotiations of the monetary aspect. So why don't you go ahead and roll for first Ferris, and then Michigo, and then Daichi.
Sure. So Ferris is up plus 16.
Mm-hmm. Just clicky, clicky. God damn, I'm so tired. 25. Okay, roll Michigo. This one's going to be disgusting. If you even roll halfway decent.
Profession merchant.
Are they rolling diplomacy?
Awesome. Okay. It's a plus 4. Okay, so you have a plus 4, and then you also have the other one a plus 2. No, plus 3. So it's plus 7. Actually, yeah, plus 7 total. From them to Daichi rolling their other check.
Which was what?
Linguistics. I'll apply the temp for you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Nice.
Oh, so close to that natty one. So close to that natty one. I was waiting for. I was like, oh, give it to me, baby. Give it to me. All right. Okay. All right. So you roll very high on your linguistics check. A very high roll. Trying to get your point across. They bring that across the field, and again, hours pass. And then the counter notice comes back, and it says that your complaint of a slight from this whatchamacallit, tax collector is seen to be difficult to believe due to the reputation that this tax collector has, and would like you to have 3 people step forward willing to put their name and life on the line for the honor of your word, stating that what you're saying is in fact true. If you have 3 people willing to do that, they will allow for the honor duel to transpire. That individual is not here, and so they will be delivered in due time. If you have 3 people willing to put their name and life on the line. Obviously, the 3 with you would be willing to do it, no problem. As for the 6-month thing, you didn't want quarterly? No?
No.
Okay. So as for the 6-month thing,
20%. Yeah.
Yep, they say that they will be more. They are more than willing to speak to you again in 6 months' time. However, the 10 BP that you that they feel as though you owe them for the slight against them, they say the slights from Kushibashi to the northern clans is known. Word of it has spread, and it cannot be tolerated. There will be recompense. And that's kind of like where they leave it. They don't specify, and it's one of those things where Michio's sitting there like, it says that there's going to be recompense, but it doesn't say that they are requesting the 10, are requesting the payback any longer. This makes me a little concerned.
I'm not.
Yep. Zara will come to you and say, one of my scouts just reported saying that there are 200 soldiers that have broken off from the other 1,000.
Zara, take your unit and track them.
If I do that, that leaves you exposed with no one but advisors.
If any of my citizens are injured, this will be a long-term problem.
She nods. I agree. But if the warlord, and she just kind of like lets it linger from there.
Send them their taxes. And let's march.
2.
We're going to head to Shinrotar.
Nods. Michigo finishes writing out the details that they're that the more or less the financing or whatever is on the way, that they'll be taking it. So you're paying it for this month. You're paying right now for their taxes. Okay. I believe we said that was how much? 8? No, 10 at crushing.
10.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're gonna spend 10 BP right now immediately on it for what it was.
Yep.
And you're gonna immediately ride down to Shinrotar.
Does his consumption does he have a negative consumption?
He does not. Actually, he had a 1 consumption last time.
Make sure you double check what crushing is. We checked heavy before, so it might be more.
Oh, okay. So it's 12 then.
No.
Thank you.
It's 10. It's 10.
Okay.
Yeah. It's 12 because your consumption was 1 originally, and it went up 1 from your army, so it's 10 that you're spending. Yeah. Okay. So you march back to Shinrotar, and you get there hours in advance of the other 200 that arrive, and 200 do arrive, and again you find yourself on a field of battle. Like, very clearly the army is set up and prepared to fight. As similarly, they will have whoever their commander is, or at least their messenger, will ride out on a commatory to meet with you. To meet with whoever's represented in your side. I don't know if you would ride up yourself or just have Zara take care of it.
I would have Zara take care of it.
Okay, pull up her character sheet. Zara's high level anyways, so. You want Zara to do diplomacy or intimidation as diplomacy? This is war, so it's perfectly fine either way.
Intimidation.
Okay, go ahead and roll it. Oh, I didn't see the roll.
Ouch.
Okay.
Shit.
She's a pretty solid modifier too, but unfortunately, yeah, no luck at all today. Nobody loves you boys today. Sorry, sir. So, she goes up there and makes her intimidation check to try to, more or less, coordinate things. She rides back and says, "Warlord, I tried to dissuade the scenario, informing them that the payment's already on the way, that there's already understandings. I tried to explain to them that if they march into our lands, that we will have to defend them. That way it's known that we are willing to defend our lands. There was no dissuading them, no matter what tactic I took and how threatening I was. They told us that it needs to be punishment for the way that we treated the northern clans. They said that they have come to cleanse us from our decisions, that we haven't earned our what's the word I'm looking for here? That we haven't earned our luxuries, and that we must pay recompense for our slight." He was talking about raising a building, if not 2.
They march. They die to a man.
So she says, "Warlord, if we fight with them, I would not be surprised if we win. We are well trained. We have fine weapons of Shadow Steel, and we have Commatory that are equally well trained. But unfortunately, Warlord, these are the northern clans. If we fight them, 4 times their number will reinforce them with ours.
Ooh.
I wish not to back down from this fight as much as you don't. But these are... She's kind of like lets it slide. She's kind of like lets it drift off. And what's his name? On. Who's with you? No, those two aren't with you. You have Daichi. You have
with me. Goddamn.
Ferris and Michigo. Michigo's with you. Michigo says, I truly wish that Karza were here. Unfortunately, she is not.
Do we know what clan this is?
Of the northern clans, they're supposedly representing all of them. They have like the flag that represents the north. See the Union Jack on there. Oh, look at that! The first Twitch luck. Snatcher Girl must have just showed up.
It's a little late, I think.
Yeah, it's a little late there, Snatcher Girl. But thank you. Oh, sorry, Snaga. Forgot about that.
Well, if they destroy a building,
It takes forever.
I'll allow it. If one of my citizens dies, I'm marching.
She nods and says, I think we can all agree that the death of a citizen would be beyond reproach. And she like looks around and nobody's happy. This is a shot to everybody's pride. And even Zara, she does not want to friggin' sit there and allow this fight to happen. You know what her opinions are. She's your cohort for a reason, right? But nonetheless, she has to share her opinion with you. So, oh, look at that. You actually got more luck. Aw. That's not your girl. Being so nice. She's giving you guys 2 luck total.
I might have to start giving a certain person discounts on commatory.
So she stands down and says, she stands down, tells the soldiers to stand down, allow them to march. The soldiers come marching into Shinrotar to again make a point of what it is that has been done. And they very publicly show the burning of the bordello and the burning of the baths to show what has kind of like punishment for what has happened. So those 2 buildings are razed and destroyed. Luckily, in accordance to the rules, you pay half cost to return them to functioning again, but destroys both of those, which means that both those buildings become temporarily non-functioning inside of your city. 0 and 0. Okay. They are obnoxious while doing it. They are aggressive. Nobody actually kills any of the citizens or whatnot, but you can imagine anybody who tries to get in the way gets a little bit roughed, like thrown to the side. The typical same kind of way that like a typical like group would do, but there's no like serious injuries or whatever that are applied there. And this whole thing takes place, and of course you're there watching the entire thing transpire. They eventually, a couple hours later, because it takes time obviously to do this, turn and they march their way out of Shinrotar, the long way out, and then march their way back to the north to rejoin with the other 800.
Well, boys, looks like I need that army of 10,000.
That's funny.
We still lose. Okay. They got a lot more than that, I imagine.
Oh, you
That's
never
right.
know. But
I'll just pay Shala to go in and burn 2 buildings in each clan's hold.
Yeah, and they will never guess who comes from.
Guesses are great.
So anyways, of course, this whole thing transpires. And just because, unfortunately, I'm an asshole, we have to top it off with the raising of 2 buildings.
Unrest.
Give me that unrest, buddy.
A little bit of unrest. Raising of 2 buildings, I'm willing to do a 1d4 plus 1. Marching of them onto your land, so on and so forth. 1d4 plus 1. Sinatra Girl has given you guys d4, so I'll allow Sinatra Girl to roll the d4 in chat. Sinatra, you want to give me a 4 on this one? That'd be great, thanks. Thanks, Bubby.
Don't. Thank you.
Roll a d4! Exclamation point d4. God, I won't lie. I am trying so hard. Crashing. Oh, look at that. That's 5 unrest. 5 unrest. Absolutely. Right. So, as you're seething while this is happening, Daichi will come up next to you, on his commentary, of course, because all of your leaders have them, and say, Warlord, this is a trying moment. This is a time that your people will remember for a short while, how you stood there and watched as this building burned. But you have to remember, it's not what you did now. It's what you will do after this that'll be written inside the history books. Let this be the spark. Don't let this be the defining moment. He'll even go so far as to lean and place like a reassuring hand on your shoulder and say, there are those that have always hated the way that the northern clans rule. I'm sure you can meet with some and see what they can do to provide aid. Enjoy your honor duel. I imagine after this you're going to want to do it yourself and not ask for a second.
There will be no second.
He nods and says, if they have called for someone to battle in their place, there are phrases that you can use to call about the honor of that particular family. Even if they don't choose to come to your coaxing, of course they pulled their hand off it by this point, even if they don't choose to buckle to your coaxing and fight you themselves to maintain their honor, even if you defeat whoever it is that fights you in a clean duel, their honor is technically restored, but it'll be known who is a coward. I will teach you what to say, and you can have proper revenge in time.
There will be. And I think I've already started the conversations with those who are not content with the northern clans.
He nods, says, so long as every decision that Clan Kushibashi makes falls within the letter of the law. Okay. And you would be able to have your honor duel. Obviously that wouldn't happen immediately, so we're going to be able to handle that one next kingdom roll for you. You'll be able to have it. But they burned those 2 buildings, which is very, very frustrating. You got some unrest. Everything went sideways, but your decisions belayed them from literally full-on attacking and slaughtering a bunch of your people. A couple people got a little roughed up, but nobody actually got injured or killed. So, frustrating as it is, it's one of those. The northern clans always seem so nice. Remember that great party you guys went to? Everything was so great. And then this shit transpires, and it's like, what the actual fuck? When you return home, and the rest of your clan hear about exactly how this transpires, Ton Screet looks seething. He's very angry by how this transpired, right? He's pissed that this kind of thing would be done. Ton Screet puts a lot of faith into the letter of the law and the decisions that are made by Kajinksi and whatnot. And so the idea that they're going to be doing this, I mean, technically speaking, do they have any legal recourse to come down here and do this? Well, it's the Northern clans. You slighted against them. Does this mean that you can do that against lesser clans that slight against you? That's one of those. That's literally a question that Tonscree asks. Is this something that we could just do to a lesser clan that slights against us then? To which Daichi chimes in and says, perhaps I'll look into this. And
setting precedent.
Shala will chime in and say, I find it hard to believe that all the leaders of the northern clans would agree to these decisions and tactics. Likely this was a hand-wave decision made by those that actually make decisions. Otherwise, this is far more troubling than all of us initially feel it is. I would like the opportunity, when you can spare me, to head to the north and find out who made these decisions, to pinpoint who was responsible for having such a heavy-handed response, especially considering that they accepted your claim that this was a slight against an individual and not the northern clans. As a matter of fact, it was a recompense for a slight somebody made against you. But, you know, retaliation, sorry, not recompense, retaliation.
I want this list as well, Shama. Start gathering information on what you need for resources.
She nods. I don't know how much money you have in the bank right now, but maybe you should look up how much it costs to do espionage edict and put some to the side specifically for that, so you can keep track of so you have some aside for her to go up next month if you wanted to, because that's an edict for you to do next month, right? All right, moving on. And then you have, what's her name? Karzuk chimes in and says, this is disgusting. The fact that they would come down here and do this. Burn the buildings. I understand the show of force. That's the Kajinksi way. But to actively burn buildings when there are already discussions, why push things one step further? What's the significance of this in Kajinksi culture? And she turns to Naren to see if he has any answer.
I'm trying to make us self-destruct. We're growing too large and too powerful in the south. The north likes their rule. Was this not the same in the Perrin when the lesser nobility gain in power? Don't those above them try to swoop in and take all they can?
She nods, understanding. I think we need to share every aspect of every detail of this with our southern and eastern allies. I think that they need to be brought completely on board for this. If I may be so bold, Warlord, I understand that all of us are pecking and clawing at our treasury. Everybody has reasons to pull towards our assets, and now taxes have been placed upon us that are stifling. But perhaps what we should do moving forward is each one of our three clans should have a small contingent, a small army that represents each one of our clans to always be in each other's lands. If something like this were to happen in the future, we can have even if it's a small patrol, 5 soldiers that represent our clan that will stand on the battlefield with our allies, so they know an attack against one of us is an attack against all of us. And that would have an additional moment of decision-making for them before they do something like this in the future. Imagine it, Warlord. I understand that seems expensive and difficult to maintain, but if we had even just 10 more soldiers with us, 5 each representing Shado and Densho, would they have made this decision?
We could have at least had our ambassadors with us, as we probably should have. I will think on this, Karzuk. We have to bolster our own forces first.
She nods and says, and we will. we would raise 2 small patrols, 10 soldiers, and we'll send them to the different lands, and they will do the same for us. It would be an equal cost across the field, and we would all have the additional political advantage as well as trained soldiers on the battlefield. Besides, we all know what impact having Densho's soldiers on the battlefield can have on the morale of our enemies, and sometimes our own.
Well said.
And yeah, moving on. So I don't think any other advisors would say a point on this one. Ryan just doesn't give a fuck, and Zhao is still new to this kind of situation. Daelric would probably just say a couple of cuss words, and everybody else has spoken. You know what I mean? So, okay. Zara, you can imagine, the two of you would have sparring sessions that are pretty intense, as both of you guys are fucking pissed. You know. But, all right, cool. Is that it for this situation? I think that is. Cool. Unfortunately, you also got a report. Warlord. This will be Tonscrete. Warlord, I have more news. I know you've just returned yesterday from what you had to deal with up just beyond our border in the north. But it can't have been coordinated. I don't think it could have been coordinated. But unfortunately, remember the beasts that we encountered on the forest's edge? And then the beasts that you encountered within the forest itself. It seems as though they've come back looking for their own retaliation against us. They've attacked our fort. It's in disrepair, Warlord. It's going to take time and effort for us to repair that. There are only a few small guards that still remains on the in the fort at the time. We didn't have anybody stationed there, as most of our soldiers were pulled to the north. But those that did remain, including just the citizens that helped with the food and the like, shakes their head. All of the men killed. All of the boys killed. But the women, they were taken.
We need to get our own.
Tonscrete nods understandingly and says, I don't know if we're prepared for this, Warlord. We have so much to rebuild. Do we go chasing now? You know where my heart lies.
What would you have me do?
He thinks for a few moments. Last time we sent a group in there after them, what happened? We lost Eric. If we send another group now, there's a chance we lose more.
Let's rebuild. We're recruiting more soldiers. We will staff the fort. I intend to build a city there at that location.
He nods and says, I'm sorry, it just seems to be bad news after bad news, Warlord. I'm hoping that things take a turn for us in the near future.
Well, if it were only ever good news, why would I be a warlord?
He nods understandingly. There's something else I wanted to look at here. It was... Just take me a second to see where this is. I believe it's up here. No. No, here we go. Oh, yep. Samurai class clan. No. Here we go. 1 second to do this. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, so then you actually will have Otslan chime in and say, not Atlan, sorry, that's the wrong word. Daichi say, I think I've discovered somebody. This is a few days later. That you might be interested in speaking with about the situation with the North. It'll take them some time to come and speak with you, but I have somebody that's interested in speaking with you. They are, shall we say, familiar with your friends, Goldsma.
I see. Well, I am open to suggestions in dealing with the North.
I'm just trying to find. This other person. I just can't find them right now. So I have to find them later on, which is fine. Cool. Cool. All right, boom. Oh, let's hold on. So, I think that'll be that'll be it for the news like that right now. Yeah. So unfortunately, you're on a low note going into this one. Nick, I'm gonna have you go ahead and roll for your random one. It's 25% chance. 25% chance, yes. So what is the 25 that an event happens?
We'll go low.
Okay, who's rolling for you? Or Roz?
Yeah, why not?
Roz
Give it
like
to me,
chaos. Roz, roll me a 16. Roll me a 16, Rozzy. Yep. Roll a no. Roll a D100. Give me a 16. For a second, I thought she screwed up, and I realized it was Steve. Ooh, that's an event. Oh boy, Roz, can we make this a bad event? Can we just like stack this up for Nick? Oh boy, Roz. Poor Nick. Gotta roll me another D1. Oh wait, do you want Roz to stick through or somebody else?
Let's see if Bolita's around.
Bolita, are you there? Bolita. Ah, roll a D100.
Let's hope it's good, Nick. You need it.
It rolls super high. Make it something really bad. Rolled an 11.
Oh God, wait, is that?
It's a beneficial kingdom event.
Let's go.
All right, Nick, do you want Bolita to stick with it? Yeah.
It's scary.
Do you want to stick with Bolita or somebody else?
Land
give it to
Rush.
Steve.
Steve, finish it up for us.
I fucking hate Land Rush for passion. It's the worst.
I hope it's a 32 to 39.
Although I got fucked with it because we were doing it wrong before.
65. Good weather.
It's that lower consumption, right?
Let me just check.
I think it does.
It increases your economy, loyalty, and productivity by 2.
For one kingdom turn, or for
We need to make new events, new generic events, to replace some of these. Can we?
What's wrong with that? It's beneficial.
Yeah, but it's a boring one.
Well, we can work.
I feel like maybe you should add some in, not replacing them as such, but adding some in.
Add it. That's what I used to do forever
fun.
ago with the old Kingmaker ones. But
What happened to that table? Bring it back.
I still have that table too. I think somewhere. So
we can bring it back.
Right? That table, but actually that table was worked off of a D20 though, and it was weird because it was sweet. But anyways, so yeah, the table's rules sucked. Yeah, it was broken after a while, but we can still add to. It doesn't matter. Reroll for us, Steve.
I hear you rolling.
Oh, Steve said nah.
What was it again? Good weather?
Fine. Boom. 72. Land rush.
No, you can't take away the good weather. That's not how that works at all.
God. Oh my god.
Yeah, you can't take away the good weather.
Yeah,
you got good weather.
Go back to good weather.
Land rush is fine. It just I'm mad because
this is. I think Celery rolled once as well, but like I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that took the feat to be able to roll twice. So
yeah, you
are you just
rolled?
like cucking me out of a feat? Is that what you're trying to do?
Oh, stop whining.
I didn't even roll.
You share teamwork feats as an ability of yours, first of all, and second of all, he did reroll once, and it was land rush again. I mean, good weather again, or was it Norway? No, I think it was somebody. Somebody rolled good weather like 3 times in a row. Like fuck it, it's good weather. All right. All right. So it's just good weather, Nick. Cool.
What was that?
It's just good weather. Oh, what does it do? Economy, loyalty, and productivity increased by 2 until the next event phase. So listen, Nick, I do technically have a couple of more things for you, but why don't we just end this this stream on a low note? I am so tired. I am like struggling to stay awake right now. So why don't we end this one on a sad little low note? And next time we'll start the session. What are you rolling for?
I made a character.
Oh.
You rolled pretty good for no con.
And next time, Nick, we'll start with the rest of what you have for you, okay? How does that sound?
6. Real blowout production.
All right, awesome, because I'm really trying here. Hey, listen, in the near future, things might be a little bit easier for me. God, my back is killing me.
The new merchant's going to be great.
Yes. But yeah, Joey, that's you get the green light to go ahead and use that hype train to make another high priest if you'd like. If not, I can. I'm sure there'll be some meeting I want to procrastinate through this week.
Thank you, everybody, so much for coming by. Sorry for the late start and the early finish. Again, like I said, things have been a little bit nutty lately. But hopefully things will settle down soon.
Let Jake roll his upkeep phase just to end it.
No. Nah, Jake next time. Jake's gonna take most of the session next time. We're literally finishing with we'll start with Nick, and then we'll jump into Jake, and he has so much to do next time, Jake.
Why?
So much.
I had that last time.
So much to do next time, Jake.
7 events last one. You need to stop. All right.
Jake, next time is gonna be super easy for you. Absolutely nothing could potentially go wrong. Definitely not another attack of people from the south. No.
Well, there shouldn't be. So thank you.
You can just let them through to the north.
Just like build a highway straight to the north. Oh, that's awesome.
That'd be expensive.
Worth it.
I got a river. We're building a river. They can take a boat right up.
Awesome. All right. Hey, everybody, let's go raid our friend. She's a halfway decent person. Maybe not that good. But good enough for us to go raid and say hi. All right. Thank you guys again. See you on Wednesday morning. There will definitely be a stream normal time Wednesday morning. All right. Bye, everybody.